G'day everyone, sorry I'm a wee bit late. Just put on a bit of music for you. If you haven't heard this song already, this is Christopher's favourite song at the moment. He's got it on repeat and he's got it on his iPod. That's the only thing you can afford right now. If you're here for Christopher Delgado's, Chris is at the moment throwing everyone under the bus. He's on a mission at the moment to destroy every friendship, every relationship that he's built up. If you're involved in Goliath Ventures, unfortunately, you probably could be sweating a bit at the moment because he's working with everybody to try to lessen his sentence. So far, Christopher Delgado is actually, I will stop that music, but it is a good song. We might put it on later on. But Christopher Delgado is trying to avoid getting himself 50 years in jail, and so far rumours are flying that he's so far cut 10 years off his time. We've got no proof of that because we don't work with the government, but anyway, that's what he might do. But then I said to somebody the other day who said, oh, Christopher is trying to lessen his time in jail as much as possible, and I said, look, it doesn't really matter if he gets 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 50 years. He won't last very long, will he? Hey, so what are we going to worry about? Justice has been served. It's something we don't hear from very much. Now, if you haven't been following me, I don't know where you've been, but I've been covering Goliath Ventures since the 1st of September. And Christopher, in these very videos that we're about to watch, actually gave me credit for writing the first article to bring down the company. He said that he received 100 texts from people when I launched my first article. Who knew that I would be that popular? Anyway, I've been doing busting scams for about 5 years. It's not the biggest scam I've actually been involved in. Bloomberg did a wee documentary about how I was chasing Sam Lee, a scammer that was charged for a $1.9 billion scam called Hyperverse. And of course, there was Bitcoin Rodney, who's still in jail. We helped put him there. There's also another guy called Jessim Michaels, a Nigerian scammer, who we tried to take down as much as we could. We didn't put him behind bars, but he's behind bars now, and he was involved in a $1.6 billion scam. So this ain't my first rodeo. In fact, Chris is probably one of my favorites because he wasn't running the conventional type of scams that we normally go after. So this week, we have got really exciting stuff happening. Now, Channel 9 News decided to drop 5 videos, 5.5 hours, claiming they had 7.5 hours worth of footage. And all of a sudden, we saw 5.5 hours of footage dropped on their YouTube channel. And we are going to debunk each and every video, which is really exciting. So it's Monday here in New Zealand. No doubt it's Sunday evening for you in Orlando if you're watching, which is a lovely place, and I really enjoyed it when I visited. So if you go to my YouTube channel, go to the live section, you'll see there's buttons here to be notified when I go live. So please do get notified so you know when I am going live. That's not rocket science. Now, the other day, we actually, when these videos first dropped, we actually put together a blog. And if you go to the blog, you can see the 5 videos. And I gave a summary of each and every video that they did. And since then, those videos have actually been removed. Now, some real ironic things that I'm finding really hard to process is at the start, which we're about to listen to, Darlene Jones claims that they removed people's names out of the video. But ironically, she left quite a few names actually in the videos, which I couldn't figure out why they made that statement, that they said something about true journalism, and then they made the mistake of doing that, which was actually a bit of a hard case. Now, one thing I wouldn't mind doing, and I'm just trying to figure out, I should have had this prepared before I went live. I'm just going to open up a PDF because we've actually published a book. And if you want to know more about what's going on with the Goliath, it is a book that you can purchase on my website, and the link's in the description of this video that you're watching right now. And the purpose of the book is to give you the full transcripts of all the meetings, so you can see the link in the meeting. I'm just going to bring up that book because there's some interesting stuff. My mind has gone blank. I went to sleep last night at 5 o'clock again, and my brain's not working properly because I'm trying to figure out where I put the book. Oh, there it is. Book, pages, and there's Christopher there. All right, so now I'm just going to save that book to my hard drive. 1 minute, please, caller. 1 minute, please, caller. And I'm going to bring that book up so you guys can actually see it. And I've got a method in my madness. Oh, my goodness. Does it really do that? Oh, it worked. Oh, my goodness, I'm saved. All right, so I'll get rid of the actual editable book, go to the PDF. Now, what we've done is we've put together this book, and the book is actually called Christopher Delgado's Goliath Ventures Memoirs. And these are Chris's words. This is Chris's charts. Chris wanted an opportunity to actually be able to speak to the media and to speak to the world and tell you why his company failed and how he is trying to do the right thing and how he's a good father. And he also wanted to explain why he got fired from In-N-Out Burgers. And you've guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, he's got one hell of a story there that he wanted told. And Channel 9 News ran to the victory. So what we did, we've now put together a book, and it's more than just a book. It's dedicated to victims who trusted Goliath Ventures with their savings, to the investigators, journalists, regulators, and whistleblowers who refused to look away. And I mean this with all my heart, to my Avengers, the quiet volunteers working tirelessly behind the scenes. Your commitment to uncovering the truth has made this publication possible. So this is a book. It's about the book. We explain about the book. We won't tell you too much, but it's more about each and every video that we're about to go after. So we've spent a lot of time actually putting together this book. But the most important part, ladies and gentlemen, is when you get to the bottom of the book and we talk about the co-conspirators. So this is the funny part here. If I get to the right part of it, we've got Darlene Jones telling you that she has omitted people's names out of the videos because these people have not been charged with any crime. But she says that on one hand, and on the other hand, she leaves many names in the videos. And the sad part about it is they have edited these videos. As she said in her own admission at the very start, they recorded Christopher for about 7.5 hours. The videos that they released were just over 5.5 hours. So what we're going to find out the next 5 days as we go through this, the first person, obviously, is Christopher Delgado. He was mentioned. We've got Darlene Jones. Well, she was the interviewer. And then we've got, I can't even say his name, but you can read it, Darek. He was the guy that owed Bidward. He was over, Chris claims that he was consulting or gave advice to him. And Chris even claims he was making up to $500,000 in a day at some times. And that's just, and then we've got Jason Newton, which was mentioned, which we've omitted his name to Jason Newton because we know it's Jason Newton. And then we've got, I can't even say, is it Jarnan? Junaid Dar, Seed Hunter. Now, if you don't know much about Seed Hunter, they actually used Chris's apartment when they did their launch, which is quite interesting. We've also got Mark James, who was in here, which is really strange. Then they tried to throw him under the bus, and I'm very strong opinionated about what I'm going to say about that. That will come out in a few minutes. And of course, the guy that I want to see behind the bars more than Nick Petrillo is actually Matt Burks. Matt Burks owned a company called Black Block, not to be mistaken as Black Rock. And a lot of people actually trusted Matt Burke because he was a parish head of a church at one stage. We got him kicked out of the church and scrubbed from the website, but that's a different story and a different day, and we've done all that. And of course, Nick Petrillo. So to be honest, and there was Nadia Bringas as well, the bookkeeper. Well, Christopher called her the accountant. So here he is, Christopher doing a $500 million company, and he's got a glorified bookkeeper running the show. And she was mentioned in the transcript. So Darlene, you said that you were going to omit people's names out of those videos, and that was the names that we found in there. But we took it to a lot further because we have what we call our persons of interest, and we currently have over 300 people in our persons of interest, and we have actually narrowed down a lot of co-conspirators. These co-conspirators, we're not scared of naming them. As Darlene says at the start, the Channel 9 people have a lot more ethical values than we do, apparently. But we're here to help the victims. We don't want these people who should have already been charged for the crime, who are still spending your money like it's water, driving around in these luxury vehicles that should all be repossessed and repoed and brought into the Goliath Ventures estate so they can pay back the victims. In the meantime, these people, like Mike, who's in Dubai at the moment, trying to build a new career and trying to make himself somebody. It's just absolutely batshit crazy. So these are the people that we want named and shamed. And these individuals have all been co-conspirators. That means they've been involved in some way in actually helping Goliath Ventures become who it became. And they defrauded over $400 million from mum and dad investors. A lot of firemen, a lot of people who are retirees, people who cashed in their 401ks. These people here facilitated and gave Christopher the nod, and also hung out with him, associated with him, endorsed his bad behavior, which is, so in here, we actually mentioned we're going to build on this, but this is where we're going. So Christopher Delgado, we named the companies that he was owner of. Like, for example, that company there was the one that purchased the building of Mark James. I should try to get his name right, and also a few other names. So all these names, in time, we'll add them up. So one thing that you may not know, Nick Petrillo, who recruited 900 people into Goliath Ventures, Christine Turner was the administrator. Well, that's actually Nick Petrillo's sister, and they used 21 ventures, not 21. Jason Newton, a Canadian recruiter and promoter, Goliath Ventures. He's also owner of 21 ventures. Very similar, isn't it? So you can see how these, and former vice president of 21 ventures, getting tongue twisted here. Anyway, these are all the names of all the people, and that's what we're doing. So if you want to purchase my book and have a good look through that, it is 178 pages of your life that you'll never get back. So why is that important? Well, when you click on Goliath Ventures, if you want to do your own research, you can actually go and click on Contact Goliath Ventures Inc. contact details. And when you click on that, it will show you all the phone numbers of all the people who were involved in Goliath Ventures. So I'm going to put that link in the live chat at the moment. And we're away. Bob's still in the background here. I've got one of my Avengers in the background who always likes to say hello every now and again. Just in case you hear any other voices popping up, you'll know what happens. So today we are going to break down every video that was played, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth, and I'm going to share my experience, knowledge, and skills with you. And we are going to get started, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing we want to do is bring up the right screen. We will bring that over here. And we want you to listen to the first few words of what Darlene Jones is actually saying about what's happening. And this will be played every day from now on, because we want to make sure that she is deliberately, how do I explain it? I think her words say it all. So let's just listen to Darlene.
I'm WFTV Channel
and it is in one
anchor
ear.
And investigative reporter Darlene
For the first
Jones, based
part.
here in Orlando, Florida. Many of you have followed my extensive reporting,
Hopefully that's not echoey.
which is a series of reports that focus on my exclusive interview with Christopher Delgado, the former CEO of Goliath Ventures. It's about 7 hours total, recorded over several weeks, in the weeks after he was arrested.
So if you're not keeping up with current events there, ladies and gentlemen, she said 7 hours worth of recording, but we've only got 5.5. We know that these have been subpoenaed by the federal government. And then in this statement that she's about to make here, she's actually claiming that, what are we trying to say? We're actually claiming, Bob's keeper, she's actually claiming that they have edited out certain sections of the content that we're about to watch. So we're not even getting a full accurate picture of what she's actually documented. No echo. Thanks, Susie.
And placed on home confinement. In May, just 4 days after our first story aired, we received a federal subpoena for that video of that interview, which is not protected by reporter privilege. We are posting the interview here on YouTube so that you can also see it.
So I know a lot of people only got up to video number 2. That's why we're going to have fun over the next week. And we're also broadcasting live on 6 different platforms.
During my interview, Christopher Delgado made a lot of accusations against some of the people who worked for Goliath Ventures and some high-profile people he was connected with in the Central Florida community.
Wonder who she's trying to talk about. It's like a witch hunt, isn't it?
I have been in contact with attorneys representing some of those who Delgado made allegations against. So far, none of them have been charged with any crime.
And it doesn't mean that they will be charged with any crime either.
So without independent confirmation of the allegations, we here at Eyewitness News made the ethical journalistic decision not to name them at this time.
Okay, ethical decision. Like, you mean it's unethical to name people that are co-conspirators and that are actually living off the proceeds that they've made from Goliath Ventures? And that is because... But you reneged, because we've just shown you that you actually named certain individuals all the way through this, but you excluded some others.
It is important for you all to know that in journalism, we are held to a much higher standard than bloggers and social media enthusiasts who may post
I wonder if she's talking about me.
content on their platforms with a less stringent verification process. We will continue with our...
Remember, Darlene, we actually broke this story. Goliath Ventures could have very well been still going. People could have been investing money today if we didn't break this story. You are a reporter. You're a news reporter. You read the news. We actually created the news.
Diligent reporting to verify the facts in this important ongoing federal case. And we will update this site and all of our WFTV platforms with the latest information as we do so. So tell us your name, who you are, and what you do.
Mickey Mouse.
I talk to you or look at the camera?
Just look at me the whole time.
It's a great question. I'm Chris Delgado, former CEO of GOLIATH Ventures.
Walk me through who you are and where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up, I was born in San Bernardino, California. And I lived in the Inland Empire for a little bit till I was about 4 or 5. And my mom had met my stepdad, I think in '94. And we eventually moved to Victorville, which is a little desert town in the high desert. And that's where I grew up.
It's a nice story.
What was that like? What was your environment?
Well, we're a single family household income. My dad was a truck driver. I think he made like 28 grand a year. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, but we lived, I mean, my neighbors were Section 8 neighbors. You know, neighbors across the street were on Section 8.
Is that good? Being a
The
Section 8
neighbors
neighbor?
next door, they were immigrants from Guatemala, construction workers. So we grew up in a low-income area. We had a beautiful home that my dad had bought, but this is the early 90s. You know, homes weren't, I think their home was like $87,000, which today is, you know, non-existent. But 3-bedroom, I think, yeah, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house on a little less than a half acre. So my dad did his best as he can to provide for us and give us a good upbringing.
Much different than where we're sitting now.
Yeah. little different.
What were your parents like? Were they strict, conservative, lenient?
Very. I grew up in a very conservative Christian household. You name it. Every Sunday church, Sunday night church, night service, Wednesday youth
Well, they didn't
group,
help you,
Thursday
did it,
Bible
Chris?
study. We were very involved in our local church. It was kind of our only friend group, especially as kids. You know, we didn't really make friends at school because we had our church friends. So there wasn't really a need to kind of fit into school or, you know, or make friends. Or not that we didn't have friends, we definitely did, but our core group of people that would always be at our house was people from our church.
How did that make you feel growing up like that? I mean,
it's kind of just the world you know. You know, someone asked me that the other day. You know, we grew up very low income, you know, but we had food on the table. We had a roof over our head. We had hot water. But someone asked me, like, how did it feel being poor? And even if you look at that, and yeah, we grew up poor and low income, it was our world. We didn't really realize that this was lower income. It was just kind of the world that we lived in.
you didn't know you were poor. It was
No.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, when I didn't know at the time how much my dad really made. I just knew he worked every single day, left in the morning, got home late. My mom would cook dinner at home. We rarely
Government housing.
ate out.
Thank you. We call them state houses over here.
You start
Solitudes.
realizing when you get older, because the spending habits, you know, my mom could only put $20 into the gas tank, or, we'd leave church
At
and
least
we
you had
want
a
to go
car.
out for breakfast, and your parents would hesitate. And then they'd be like, don't we have food at the house? Yeah, we have food at the house. Or, don't you have this going on? Yeah, we can't go. We have this going on, kind of thing. So you pick up that stuff later, and then you kind of realize, yeah, they did as much as they could to shield us from, actually realizing how poor we were.
So, like, when you think about that, like, what's your earliest childhood memory?
So what I don't personally like about this, and I'll speak for what I think, is I'm not liking the rags to riches story. We're going from rags to scammer or rags to fraudster story, in my opinion. I think it would be fair to say a lot of people in the world haven't had the best upbringings. And this doesn't define who you are by your upbringing. In fact, I could give you a very hard luck story if you really want one. Believe it's made me a better person, not a worser person. Just saying.
Where it was like a core memory from your childhood?
I had to been, I think, 2. I grew up in a trailer park in Fontana, actually right across the street from Kaiser Permanente, Fontana, where my older brother was born. I remember my aunt living across the street in the other trailer. And me and my brother would just play in the street in our diapers. When you live in a trailer park, it's kind of its own little community. So, you have the old grandmas and grandpas that live there. They leave the tricycles out. They leave their grandkids' toys out, and it's kind of community. You kind of play with that. So my earliest childhood memory was just.
So we've heard that the trailer park was actually for 2 months, and that was transitioning between one house to another. But, letting somebody sit there and say that you was brought up in a trailer park, if anybody can prove those dates, I mean, it is a wee bit weird that he's sitting here trying to paint a picture of hardship and not much money and living in a trailer park when, all up, he's meant to have only lived in a trailer park for 2 months. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Playing in the street with my older brother in our diapers in this trailer park. And I remembered it so vividly because we had a chain link fence at the end of the trailer park, and it was the I-10 freeway in California.
Oh my God, he's on the side of the highway.
So you always
Gets
remember
worse.
that the car traffic, the car noise, it's loud all day and all night. And trailer park walls are this thin. But that was one of
My earliest memory, and I shit you not, is I remember the 6 o'clock closing of the pubs, and my father used to come home as drunk as a skunk, and twice he knocked on the front door so much because my mum was obviously upset with him somewhere. He broke all the glass in the door. And then I remember him doing that twice. So you do have childhood memories. But that's my memories when I was 2.5 years of age. And then my father left and mum started getting the benefit, and she thought she was better off because my father never used to give her much money to run the household. But we lived in a house.
earliest memories.
Why do you think that is?
It's unique.
Hey, Nev,
Think.
nice to see you.
I've never met another individual was raised in a trailer park.
Oh my God!
So
you
even
have
though
any
we grew
neighbors?
up low income in Victorville, still people lived in houses, maybe not big houses. I think our house we grew up in was like 1,000 square feet with 3 boys, But I
Hey, Queen
don't
Karma.
think I've ever had another friend who lived in a trailer park for a short period of time, or that I know of. So
you don't like living
it's a
out
very
with low
unique experience.
people who don't have high incomes. That's what I'm hearing.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Older brother. At the time, I had an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. And my mom was dating my stepdad, and my mom had my younger brother in '95.
How did that change
Is that
things?
James? James
Baby
Delgado.
Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Baby Brian could do no wrong. And still to this day. Now,
Yeah.
we all love each other. But I was the baby. I was the center of
Oh,
attention.
sorry, Queen. Did I know?
I would make smart comments to my stepdad that my mom would tell me. Obviously, I don't really remember, but I would always make these smart comments to him, that I'm the baby, I'm the, everything's about me. This is my world. What are you doing in my house? At 2, 3 years old. But then baby Brian came along, and that was, he was the focus of attention. Which is good. I love my brother. So I understand. He's very charismatic.
Hello.
Hello, if you want to hear that voice is, it's
Hello,
the
Queen.
love of my life. It's Queen and Bob. Every time Queen turns up, Bob turns up. Every time Bob turns up, Queen turns up. The two of my Avengers who helped me fight Cybercrime both got YouTube channels. So welcome to the stage. We're here to listen to Christopher, who could do no wrong, brought up in a trailer park. Have you guys got a hard luck story? Or did you get brought up in a mansion? And did your parents have more money?
I was
than a
brought
mortgage?
up. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just, yeah. Who was brought up in more hardship?
Hardship. Maybe that's why I have more
was
respect
brought
for
up
these
with
people.
money.
You had money.
I was brought up with, I was actually brought up with quite a lot of money, but I was adopted, and then my parents hated me because I wasn't their kid. So
Oh, can't win, can you? Have you still got any of the
no,
money?
I didn't win.
What about Bob? What about your upbringing?
Hardships, but then came into money, but I still had to work for the money.
You had to work for the money. You mean your parents paid half and you had to find the other half?
Bingo.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, Chris has had a very hard life because that's obviously tainted his life because he's brought up in a trailer park and then he just wanted wealth and riches. That's what I'm getting so far.
But that's what he's doing here is he's just trying to form like this vulnerable story so that when you're watching this, you're going, oh, I feel so bad for this guy brought up with such a hard life, finally makes money, and then they charge him for fraud. It's just so awful.
I know. And this whole interview is actually all about, if you didn't know anything about it, you would probably think that being the case, and that's the terrible part. They don't realize.
He's a victim too.
Well, he's not. And all this is painting that he had a proper business and it failed. And this is not a failed business. This is total fraud from out of the gate. And he's already participating in fraud before he even started Goliath Ventures. And they've been doing this for this is like a tag team of co-conspirators who just do this for a living. And that's what, this PC stuff, let's give this guy some limelight. You just get my blood boiling. And, it's not, I don't have any personal vendetta against anybody that we go after. But when we see the same template every time, I mean, what you're going to find out, which I'm going to break it to you, Christopher was actually participating in a Ponzi scheme himself and white labeling another Ponzi scheme with your money and hoping that was going to be a salvation. So he was using a scam to run a scam. It's just ridiculous. And they knew what they were doing because they knew it was high risk. But they took everyone's money and gave them insurances on their investments. How ridiculous is this? And now he's on
Right,
TV.
and you said something the other day where you said, what happened to real journalism? And I was thinking of like how you just brought up the beginning and how she laid out how she wasn't going to talk about the co-conspirators. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That is rather weird because like 30 years ago, it would have been them who listed all of the co-conspirators, the reporters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she could have helped solve this more, in my opinion, if you were a good reporter anyway. But I guess she's no daddy to heck.
Well, I've got, I was talking about that with my partner, actually. Not that I like to talk about her life. But I reckon a newsreader reads the news. A investigative journalist will research, find it.
Investigate, yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll put it maybe in a blog and it gets edited and then it gets published. Darlene Jones has to read everything, has to fire everything through their lawyers first, and they have to make sure it's legally sound so they don't get sued. And it doesn't mean, that they remove every aspect where they
You should
can't
just
get
do a
sued.
disclaimer like all these scammers do. I am
Well,
not really responsible for naming.
Well, they know that these disclaimers don't work like we do. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm an investigative journalist. I find stuff on people and I go with it, and we research it. And I'm not worried if they come after me, and because and it's not reckless. But the point is, well, it may be reckless in some people's eyes, but the point is, we report the real news. They can't report the real news. And she didn't read anything about Nick Petrillo until she had a court document in her hand. And that's the first time she ever named anyone else in relation to this. It's just...
Yeah, but it still pisses me off because I'm like, hey, you work for the news, though. You have an entire lawyer team. So why are people like Danny and CoffeeZilla and Jim Browning okay with going out there and investigating and naming people? But then a whole news broadcast station is going to get too scared too. It's just, I still don't like it.
Well, and I'm not worried about getting the credit for it, if that's what you may be thinking and what you're thinking, people. But I don't care about the credit because I know the truth always prevails. And this has caused them a lot of... All these videos that you're watching right now have been removed off the internet. And I know why. But,
wow.
And it's the thing is, they're too scared of defamation cases. They're too scared of lawsuits. So they can't even report or deliver the news because they're scared of that. And they won't even stand up for what they believe in. I have said this, and I don't mean this recklessly, but I'll fight this to the death. And that's how we went about delivering the news. And that's what I call old-fashioned journalism. And we fight this. We're in the trenches with these guys. We go after these guys and we get the victories. And then we report
This is Danny's Watergate.
This is Watergate. Yeah. Anyway, let's carry on because otherwise we'll bore everyone to death with me talking about this, what I've done many a time. I know what we're thinking, but this is day one of we've got 5 more videos like this, and we've got some shocking stuff to tell you along the way. We've already published a book about this, but here we go.
How did you make it through high school? Were you smart?
I cheated and I used AI. Oh no, that's now. Sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know I graduated third in my class. 4.3, I think, GPA.
Well, when I was 13, I was the put in the second to highest class in the school, and out of the 30 kids, I was the lowest. So the next year, I got put in the worst class of the school, and I used to get beaten up all the time at school by the bullies because I was in the worst class of the school. That was I left school at 14.
Yeah, 4.2 or 4.3 GPA.
I don't even know what that is. Is that good?
I loved high school.
That's okay. I forgot that.
It's okay. You would have got it, Bob, because you got more toes than everyone else. You would have been
That's right.
Mass, wouldn't you? You would be able to go, I can add up to
Yes.
24.
I always had I had a helping hand. My brother's 2 years older than me. So as a freshman, junior, and high school is all about knowing the juniors and the seniors and being in with this group and that group.
Oh, is it?
So it made it
I didn't know
easy
that.
because my brother's 2 years older. I was a freshman. He was a junior. I got to meet seniors. I got to, meet his junior friends and be in those crowds. But I've said this before, my God-given talent is people are just attracted to me. People...
Give me a bucket.
what's the right word?
Bark?
Naturally drawn to me.
Oh, my
I
Barf.
realized that in high school.
Oh,
I
Gross.
realized with my teachers, I could...
Just saying.
This man's ego.
Where are we? I think that photo there says it all, really. I mean, that's... People are drawn to me, Anyway, just saying.
They also draw on him.
They did draw on him, yeah.
I'd get up in the middle of class, walk out, go to the bathroom, walk into my girlfriend's classroom, give her a kiss, walk out, go back to class, not an issue. But any other student would get immediate detention or immediate, demerit, whatever it might be.
I used the man about
Could have
town.
done that also,
I
but
don't know
didn't.
why that is. In high school, I don't know why.
He's so special.
I don't know if maybe my grades were allowing me to, get extra perks and benefits. I don't know what the...
What sort of perks and benefits do you think he's going to get in prison? I mean, he's going there as a snitch. He's dobbed in all his mates.
Yeah, no, he'll have to go PC.
Yeah, we have to be like, I might have to go get another a face job so they don't recognize you.
Teachers were staying in the teacher's lounge.
At what point did you start thinking about what you wanted to do, what you wanted to become, who you wanted to become? Like, what did you?
I mean, this is ridiculous because I know the answer to this. He worked at In-N-Out Burger, and he flips burgers for a living. Worked like a dog for a couple of 3 years, then got put into management, then got fired for stealing. I mean, you know, what point did I leave school and think I wanted to be a painter and a decorator? I mean, what sort of
I
question
mean, I
is
guess
this?
he's consistent.
Did you want to be a fireman or a what is it? A fireman? What else did we want to be? A fireman,
Policeman.
a policeman. That's it. He's going to tell you he was going to be a policeman. He was like Tomo. Oh my god. Oh,
I didn't know for the longest time.
for the longest time.
We didn't grow up with college being pushed to us. I mean, my parents didn't go to college. So all we knew is don't be truck drivers, because all my dad would do is complain about truck driving and everything he had to deal with.
Richard, we love you. Richard's one of our Avengers. He's was it?
Bob, what are you doing? It keeps clacking.
The Red Raptor is one of our Avengers, and if you want to support Richard, well, you can actually do so. We're going to actually do a wee commercial here for Richard. Let's have a wee look. So if you're on my website, you can go to the merch
I am
area.
voting the best thing for Danny if this works.
There we go.
Okay.
This is the Red Raptor.
I love it. It's so
And,
cool, actually.
Look at that shirt, man. That's what a real trucker does. Now, Richard drives the truck, hooting the horn, and he goes, "We hate the scammers!" And he goes, "Let's go!" And Richard there's nothing wrong in being a truck driver. Hey, Rich. Hey, where's our delivery? We need to get
I'd rather be a truck driver than someone getting charged for fraud and going to jail. So
Can you
there's
not drive
that.
trucks in jail?
Exactly. Like who? That's what
Don't
I
they
mean, though. Like they don't go to jail.
What about in the laundry room? They have trucks, surely. Oh, you load the trucks. So that, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to drive once you're in jail. Like you would probably have to be in jail for life and like be on very good behavior to be the one driving.
I reckon. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
You won't get that job.
He might have to kiss up to people.
So we're just trying to kind of navigate, who we wanted to be, what we wanted to do. I fell into law enforcement.
Here we
and
go.
Almost became a sheriff with LA County.
Like your brother James.
A lot of it was because I was lost.
That county must be like, no!
I didn't really have a career path. I didn't know if I wanted to go to college.
Yeah.
And also too, when you grow up in lower income families, the first thing always on your mind is I need to make money. I need to get into the hustle. I need to
hustle, not the right
start
use
providing
of words
for myself at least. And so you kind of get into the rat race.
Actually, Cindy's from Florida at the moment. Maybe they don't know what lower income families are. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's something that he's trying to connect with that Florida. Because when I went to Florida, they said to me the ear hostess says some real wacky people in Florida. I mean, no way. Really? Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, like Florida man.
And so at 16, when I got my first job at the movie theater, I was like, okay, I'm making a little bit of money. I'm figuring it out, and things will start coming to me as I figure it out. And then you have the influence of others.
First job, everyone. My first job is I was brought up a Jehovah's Witness, so I was quite used to knocking on people's doors. So when I left school at 14, no one would hire me. So I went and knocked on people's doors and told them I had a lawn mowing round, and they'd ask me how much I charged, and I'd say $10 an hour. And then once they agreed to that, I'd say, "Oh, can I borrow your lawnmower?" That's how I started my lawnmower business. Anyway, what about you guys? What was your first job, Bob?
Painter.
A painter. I'm a tradesman. Oh, good stuff.
That is good. My first real job was I was a camp counselor at a church camp for the
Wow.
summer.
That's
Yeah.
good. Counseling kids.
Yeah, like I was the counselor there and the cook there. So
Mhm.
I had a cabin of eight people, 8 kids. And then we would do activities and run all the activities and stuff. It was a pretty good camp.
Cool.
It was the first time I entered a place of religion that wasn't like bigoted.
No, and they didn't have those
Like
wagons
they
and
were
those
like
horses.
like they were like totally accepting of like LGBTQ and they were
Still
like
don't know what that is.
not racist or like evil people. Like it was the first time that I got to experience religion without the I guess the Catholic hate, as you
Wow.
could call it.
No, cool. Well, let's see what else Chris's can connect with the audience with. Remember, all scams that we bust is all about building trust with people. And this whole interview, I think, is just building that relationship up with you where you think he's a lovely guy.
And at the time, my mom had friends who their husbands were either California Highway Patrol or sheriffs or policemen. And I just thought that's just the coolest freaking job, you know?
Has anyone watched The Rookie? It's one of my favorite. We watched another episode last night. The Rookie is really good. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix.
And so I went down that pathway. It was very, very close.
What happened?
I got a call. I worked for In-N-Out. I went from the movie theater to go work for In-N-Out. I worked in the store from 2009 to 2013. And I'd been volunteering at different charities that In-N-Out Burger was doing, whether it was personal for Lindsay, the CEO, or
That's
for the
weird.
organization. And so my name
That's
was getting
bizarre.
thrown around into these executive.
He's saying that because
you
he's
know,
trying to control the narrative, which we'll
higher
figure out
ups.
later on.
Because I'm like, I worked at McDonald's, had nothing to do
meet
with the Ronald McDonald
the
House.
director of
Foundation,
events
yeah.
for In-N-Out at a charity
Right,
event
like-
that I was volunteering at. She really liked me. And so I get a call. First off, you're talking about 09, 2010, 2011. You know, you just had the big financial crash. You just had, you know, housing crisis, everything kind of going on. And then the nation goes on a hiring freeze of first responders,
Small cat decided to
which
become
everyone
a
said
scammer.
when the nation stops hiring first responders, like it's a kind of a big moment in our economy. I think we are officially in a recession, almost into a depression.
More struggle.
There's a lot of talk, you know, that we're gonna
much
this
struggle can you get in
recession will
one
go into
story,
depression,
Chris?
be worse than
Yeah.
the Great Depression.
Stretch
that
it out,
happened.
Chris.
So there was a lot
Yeah, baby.
of things going on.
Compare
That's
it to the Great Depression.
because I didn't have another choice.
Look
Yeah.
at college students. Like,
No
you
one
need
was
1,000 words.
hiring
Oh, man.
in-
Oh,
in
man.
first responders.
Yeah.
Were you flipping burgers at In-N-Out?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Number
mean, you
72,
start off cleaning tables
75.
and cleaning tables. What's funny is when I got hired
72.
at In-N-Out, my first day, the manager on duty,
I stole his wallet.
she looks at me and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Chris. It's my first day. Not sure what I should do." And she goes, "You know how to make your bed?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "You know how to clean your room?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "You know how to wipe your butt?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Then go out there and clean." And I was like, that's pretty simple. Table's dirty, clean it up, you know,
Calm
and
down,
kind of figure it
darling.
out on your own kind of thing. But yeah,
Sorry.
you move yourself up
Just have a few moments.
from cleaning, you know, bathrooms and tables in the dining room to eventually working in the kitchen and at In-N-Out, cooking the burgers is like the highest, you know, it's their sacred product. So being a cook for In-N-Out, it's like the highest position. You're the most respected in the store. You kind of get away with whatever. You're kind of your own little manager in being able to direct the
So he's
the
looking to
team
get away with things.
while
Hold on,
having other
pause
managers
this for
there,
a
but
second.
the management staff definitely.
Do you notice that in all his stories, he's always putting himself in the position where he's the most liked?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
even in terms of this, like, In-N-Out burger story, like, he's like, and then I made it up to be a cook, and that is the most respectful. And then he had to, like, talk it up a bunch. Like,
Yep.
it's just so fascinating how much his ego comes out during this.
Well, self promotion is very important in this game. It's prestige.
Yeah.
He learnt that in the trailer park. He was there for 2 months, so he learnt really quick. I mean, it's bullshit, really, isn't it? I mean, like I was just having a yarn to somebody I care about, and we're talking about where's the world and where's the mentality of the people today. Like, what's important? Where's your values, ethics, and all that sort of stuff. Like, really, I mean, is he telling us a story how he used to work at In-N-Out Burger, and because he was the burger maker, yeah, he was the most respected guy in the burger place.
Over the manager.
He's trying to tell us that it was the place, it was the bee's knees to be, was the flipper of the burger. You were the man in charge. That was the moment I most valued in my life. And now where is he?
Right.
Common thief. Anyway, carry on, Chris. Don't let me stop you. Tell us about the favorite burger.
Only leans heavy on the cooks to drive, the store during the day or during the night.
How long were you a cook?
I
chef,
was a
they call
cook
them in the real world.
for.
Well, how long did it take you to become a cook?
So the first year I got 5 promotions. So it's level
Is
1
it
through
a
7,
cook?
and level 6.
It's a
You
chef,
call it
isn't
a cook when you're making burgers
Well,
at In-N-Out Burger. I don't really consider that a cook. Like when someone says, how long did it take you to become a cook? I'm thinking that you're working at like a fancy restaurant and you worked up from line cook. You know what I mean? Like, not this.
Look, let me just put this in perspective, everyone else. People have been defrauded out of $400 million, and we've spent the first, 40 minutes, whatever it is, sorry, I can't even tell, talking about his life as a burger flipper. I mean,
20 minutes of this shit.
This is true journalism, ladies and gentlemen. This is building the rapport. We'll find another video of Darlene. After her videos have been removed, she published another video explaining this from another perspective on how she was using her investigative journalist skills to draw him out and build that rapport. And this is all part of it.
Not very good at it.
No.
So the first year I got 5 promotions.
Wow.
But what happened was
best chef in the world.
I went to a busier store.
Oh.
And that store started out
Bigger
as
burgers?
one of the original stores. It was the anchor store between
The
California
best store
and
in the
Las
burger
Vegas.
store chain.
So it had a basement. It
course.
was,
Gets
very
better and
small
better, Chris.
because it was basically just a store to service the people coming off the highway, and then store product there and then get it to Vegas as fast as they could. So that store kind of had a cult employee.
A cult burger store.
And
There
so
you're talking.
I come stepping into
Damn good.
after they just remodeled it, made it beautiful, all these things. I went with the manager that hired me. He was taking over that store, and I wanted to go work with him. And so I get there, I walk in as a level 5, and they're the ones who wrap the burgers. So they're working right next to the cooks. They're talking to the fry people, kind of driving the front end of the store. And nope. They're like, you got to learn how to cook fries at this
in the
store.
warehouse.
And I remember. Mind you, I'm a level 5, almost level 6 to cook.
Almost level 6, guys.
Level 6 chef.
Environment that they put me on fries, and it was a Friday night.
Level 6 only gets
And
fries.
I didn't have a name. When I went to the store, I didn't have a name for 6 months. They called me 72 because that's the store I came from.
But he's the most liked everywhere.
They did not
People
want
are
you
just
there.
drawn to
not.
him.
I was not welcomed.
Number
And it
72.
goes into this story where it's Friday night.
Well, they didn't like
I'm
him.
cooking fries, and we get busy, and we get busy, and we get busy. And I can hear behind me the cooks talking. And when I didn't know what they were saying at the time, but it's called being snowed. You have so many orders on your table that you just can't. You're buried into it.
Buried.
And their idea was that if they could just drown me in orders,
Drown them.
create that pressure, create
Burgers
that
are up
stress,
the
that I
hill.
would just go back to my other store.
To 72.
Yeah.
They call it
So the
72
whole time,
burgers.
come on 72, come on 72, come on 72. And I'm just not quitting. I'm like, I'm
72.
not
Go 72. 72. The
going
wheel's
to
falling off.
let
The
these
wheel's falling
people
off.
defeat me. Like they're playing a game, and I'm not. One, I don't want to play their game, but two,
Everyone
I'm not
tried
going
to
to let
bring
them
him
win.
down, but he just kept going.
So finally, the manager taps me on
And
the
the burger
shoulder
started talking
and
back
was
at
like,
him.
"Go take a break," because I couldn't.
Take the
I
burger
couldn't
break.
keep up. So I go take a break. He comes down. He's like, "How are you feeling?" And I was like, "I know what they're doing.
Go cook it
And they're
yourself.
trying to break me.
Oh, no.
And they want me to go back to my other store." And I was like, "But I'm not going back."
I'm not going back.
And I was like, "I'm here to stay." And I said, "So unless I get fired or I get sent home
He goes,
tonight,"
"They're
Yeah,
the
baby.
door, Chris."
because they're like, "What do you want when you?"
He's showing grit. He's showing determination. He's showing you that he's got the determination to keep flipping those burgers. The steam's coming off. He's got his brow out here. I'm going to find you a photo, the photo that we did when we found out that Christopher was working at In-N-Out Burger. It's priceless. I'll find it where he's still talking about flipping burgers.
I'm just wondering too, is this why he robbed them, or like are we setting up that story as well?
No,
They
that
were
story.
so mean to me, so I robbed them.
He had reasons to steal those tickets because he said no one told him he wasn't allowed to steal. So that's what's coming out in a minute. Yeah. And then when he found it out, he said there was no policy against stealing in the company. So that's why he stole and that's why he got fired. Look, we didn't come this far not to go this far. Look, we're going back to this over here. Do you realize we've done about 80 blogs on Christopher Delgado? You would think that I didn't. I do a blog a day, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you think I'm obsessed with Christopher. And this was before AI got really good, because in the last 6 months, AI images have just got batshit crazy. But you can see some of the thumbnails. I actually really enjoy doing the thumbnail. Here he is. So this was Christopher, and this is when I was, this is Christopher working at In-N-Out Burgers, and we walked in there. Stealing is a crime. That's so funny. And this is, look at him, look at his eyes. I mean, this is like, it's AI at the time, okay? And look, even me looked like something from Martian land. But anyway, I look like a beaker. But he's got more patties there, and that was the night that he was overwhelmed with cooking burgers, poor guy.
Right.
We talked about that.
Bob with the 6 toes came in and ordered too many burgers.
Oh, I know. And he said, I'd like the appetizer, please. I'll have 20 burgers for my appetizer. Here we go, Chris. Tell us what next. Tell us something we don't know.
After your break, what do you want to go do? Do you want to work in the back so no one sees you and peel potatoes, or I was like, no, put me back up there. So I came back from my break, jumped back on fries.
The fries, Chris.
And I was like, all right, let's play this game. And it never happened after that. I think I earned their respect.
Oh, you earned the respect of other burger people.
I think I know I earned their respect by not giving up, and was kind of now molded.
New donation from TikTok Nick will be in the
store is
doc.
called 29.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
Into store 29.
Appreciate it.
But the funny story of that is...
Wait, there's more. There's more pictures.
After that situation, I started to learn how to cook. And I became one of the best cooks.
After he mastered burgers.
He's now become the best cook in the whole world for cooking flipping
He's
burgers.
level 7.
He used to
Better
get
than Chef Ramsay.
Yeah, he used to get the meat buns in the morning out of the freezer, and he used to add a little bit of extra texture and a bit of flavour into them. And then put it on the grill. Boom! Out they come, and the customers are going, "This is the best burger." Anyway,
They won awards, I bet.
oh, he did. He's a Michelin star burger flipper.
And I was now driving the store culture. I was the one now everyone looked to, because a lot of those people either transferred to other stores or quit or went on to other jobs.
He got left there.
And there's very few OGs, which I was now considered an OG. And so it's kind of funny and ironic how, I step into the store as an outcast. They try to break me. They try to push me out. They try to make me go back. And then I go through this, situation.
How many
Some
underdog
of them leave,
stories
some
do
of
you
them
need,
stay,
Chris?
and then now I'm leading the pack, kind of thing. It's actually kind of really funny. Yeah.
So why did you leave?
Good story. Thanks for sharing.
New
Why did I leave
donation
the
from
store?
To Be Fair, the
No.
burgers were good.
Well, I got offered a job at corporate. And
That's funny.
again, I was
Burger Man.
still kind of going back to law enforcement. I was still focused on being a cop. I was in shape. I was
The cop said,
working out
"We
every
can't take any
day.
more
I was
donuts.
just
We need a
keeping
burger
on
flipper."
things because we're still in a hiring freeze.
So we
Danny
can eat
took the
also
job
healthier.
took the
off.
best donut.
I mean, this is where the story
New
doesn't.
donation from Best Burger Flipper Chris.
Best burger flipper Chris. Now, if you
Best at
haven't,
everything.
all right. So Christopher used to have a business. I don't know why I can't enlarge this. Hold it. Oh, there we go. So this is Chris when he was the size of a house. No offense to houses. This is when he had his goat marketing, and this is Chris
goat.
when he ate all the burgers. All right. So this is the big Chris. All right, and then you've got Chris getting a bit of a tummy tuck, a mummy tuck, and then that's Chris now. He's where everyone loves Chris. So in a few minutes, we're going to learn a lot more about Chris, but there's some really good photos in here. We've got Mr. Ron DeSantis.
Oh my God, Danny, we need to do the documentary and call it Everybody Loves Chris.
Oh!
You know, like that show, Everybody Hates Chris, but it's like Chris Delgado. That's
New
what we gotta
donation
do.
from He Was Fat AF.
Stop it. Here's Christopher here. This is when he used to call himself Lord Delgado. He still does. You can find him on Instagram. The Speaker of the House. There he is there with his puffed up chest and his suit that's a little bit too small for him. And there he is sitting. That would be
They
dangerous.
always are.
And that's what Chris has thrown away, ladies and gentlemen. He had a beautiful family and beautiful kids. One kid's adopted, and now those kids are going to be having no father. And he's going to tell you in a few minutes how wonderful he is as a father. But the reality is he went from standing outside the White House to standing in front of that. That's an AI picture, by the way. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you in case you got bored. Okay. Who's put a 7 in the chat room if you've had enough talk about burgers.
To go to corporate, and that was Monday of September in 2013. That Friday, same week
Monday,
that I'm on a corporate
September?
job, I get a call from my background investigator saying that
New donation
there's an
from Boob
academy
Job?
in October.
Poop job.
The hiring freeze is done.
How
Now
does
they
that
need to
work?
fill the academy, so I need to
I know
get,
who that
I
is,
need
by
to
the
get
way.
down to LA so I can start
See
finish
if you
my
can make me
background.
laugh.
And I remember taking the call and hanging up and like so excited, like yes, like my career can finally start.
Yeah.
And then I took the whole weekend and I just struggled
I thought he was the
with
best
the idea
chef.
of becoming a sheriff.
He is. How did the place survive when he went
And
to
it
the weekend
wasn't
off?
because I didn't want to do it.
No.
I don't have a high school education, I don't have a college education. I don't have a college diploma.
Hey,
I graduated.
I went to university, but I actually painted the library roof. It was 13 stories high. So I always tell people I went to university, but I went to paint the roof.
Graduated high school and I went straight into the workforce. And I knew how important in corporate America titles were. And I knew that now that I'm in corporate, I can say I'm in corporate America. I can work on.
He's in corporate America. What you're going to hear soon, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to make an excuse.
New donation from My Wife's Asleep. Ha ha ha.
Knew it was you. Stop it, though. You'll get in trouble. She messages me at night time telling me, stop my husband giving you $5 donations. It's just ruining my bank balance. What I am going to say, though, is Chris is going to give you a hard luck story about how he got fired from In-N-Out Burger. How many of you people have ever done something wrong in the workplace? Does your workplace only give you one opportunity? Or do they find the one thing when they can finally get rid of your ass and they use it because they know that's the one they needed to push you over the edge? And that's what I reckon happened. There would have been other people, because In-N-Out Burger declined to be interviewed, not by me, but by other journalists. So there'll be more to behind the story that you're going to be told in a minute, but let's hear it anyway.
Different promotions and different titles, and that would carry me, because now that I'm in corporate America, if I go work for another company, all they're looking at is your title and your role and responsibilities. I'm coming from this massive company, In-N-Out Burger corporate, so everyone has love for the store.
What title would you have being a chef in a hamburger place? Like what's your title?
Level 7.
Level 7.
Level 7.
I'm a level 7. Is that like when you go to Aliens? The
I
Aliens
don't know
movie,
what that means.
and you load yourself into the spaceship, and they go, "What rank are you?"
I don't
and you
know.
go, level 7.
When I interview Chef Ramsay, I'll ask him, what does Chef Level 7 mean?
level 7 chef.
Like, even he'd be like, what the hell? Because, like, I don't know. I've worked in fast food before. There's never been levels. And
Yeah,
I'm just very confused.
but
I
he's
do
a
that
level
Feels like
fry,
he's
7.
made it all up.
So let me get
cashier.
this: you're a crypto liquidity pool master and a level 7 chef.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, you work in
That's how he's making
corporate.
his
Wow,
crypto
He's
coins.
crazy.
covering.
He was baking them.
So I said, I want to run with this opportunity
Okay.
with In and Out.
Wasn't the
And
Solarium Life
maybe
guy
put
also a chef?
the sheriff job on the back.
Yeah, I think so.
And so that Monday morning, while on my
Oh,
way,
Needs to be a running theme here.
it's true. Yeah, because the
Steve
Delirium
was
guy
the
was
chef, wasn't he?
he was a chef, and he was like trying to merge crypto trader and chef together as a thing.
Yeah.
And we was all
It's
sitting
gonna be
there thinking,
called
why did
Bitcoin.
look, we couldn't figure out why this guy who's a scammer was always in a white sort of like Ramsey costume. You know what do they call that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all of a sudden I looked through his Facebook page, and he's gone from running a large scale Ponzi, well, not even large scale Ponzi scheme, a Ponzi scheme, and then you go through all his feed on his Facebook page, and then here he is in a blimmin' chef's costume, and you go, what the, and then you realize, he always wanted to be a crypto trader, not a chef.
down to my job, which
Right.
I was driving 2.5 hours to and from work. I was driving from Victorville to Irvine every single day.
Hold it.
I called.
Did he just tell us he spends 5 hours driving each day flipping burgers? Is that what he said? 2.5 hours
That's
each
what
way. Is that
That's
possible?
what it sounds like. Well, it is possible, just not a lot of people would be doing that.
Well, how
Because
would
like
he
in
be able
places
to?
like Toronto, you can get stuck in traffic when you're going to and from work, so it can take you like 2 hours sometimes. But
Yeah, but that's crazy, isn't it? Because isn't that like a petrol would cost? Like in New Zealand, we wouldn't do that because you guys get petrol for the same price you pay for a gallon. We get a liter, so that
well,
would
that's
be.
what I mean. Like nobody would actually want to do that, though. Like you would get a job closer to your house if that ended up being the case.
He must have been
But
some
he's
friggin'
just
amazing cook.
making things up at this point. I feel like to make him more of a victim.
2.5. I'm going to listen to it again because I don't believe he's driving 5 hours a day to go to work and home.
Corporate. Wow, it's crazy.
Here we go.
So I said, I want to run with this opportunity with In and Out, and maybe put the sheriff job on the back hold. And so that Monday morning, while on my way down to my job, which I was driving 2.5 hours to and from work.
To and
Driving
from work.
Victorville to Irvine every single day.
Is that somebody add that up? Is that
I
possible?
called my background investigator and I just said, hey, I've been blessed with this amazing opportunity. I don't want to give it up. And so I won't be coming in today. And all he said was, I understand you have 2 years before your application expires. And if things change, things change.
Small says best driver.
Was he an Uber driver as well?
So
Are you
what were
best
you
driver?
doing at corporate?
So I was the events administrator.
New donation from Check
I was
Google
working with
Maps.
a
It's
team of 22
1.2 hours.
In and Out
Wow,
was big.
thank you.
Regional events, internal event.
Maybe you got
company,
that wrong.
that they
Slip
would
of the
put on
tongue.
for their employees. And
Thank
so I
you.
was helping the event planners and the corporate planners with just different tasks for different regions, different things, helping in the charity aspects too as well, because I was still involved in that. So I kind of had my hands in.
What charity? I mean, you really painting the picture that you were working in the best burger place. You were the best flipper of buns or burgers, and now you're working with charities, and you were just the man about town and good looking. Everyone was after you, and you didn't eat all hamburgers.
A little bit of everyone's work because I
I mean,
was
if he lied about the
assisting
number
them
of hours
too.
he
And I was
drove
actually
or
at the time the
exaggerated.
only male that worked in a
Not weird to
fem-
think he's exaggerating the rest.
Now he's telling us that he's the only male that worked in this place.
office. So
Oh, all the girls
a lot
wanted
of
him too,
lifting the
probably.
boxes, moving,
In the
moving the
skirts.
pallets, all that kind of stuff was helping them. So
Oh, this is a nice story, Chris. I'm liking this.
Colleen, it's not
This is
that
lovely.
funny.
I like this.
Like, calm
And then he
down.
thought he's, hey, what happened? I missed something.
Colleen needs to calm down. She's being a little bit of a pick me in this whole thing.
I think she
drives me a little
fancies him.
nuts. She's like,
I think
"You're
she's
so funny."
she's smooching after him. I mean, even I won't get nice to people I'm interviewing. I mean, I just can't do it.
So I would go to events with them and helping unload, load, all that kind of stuff.
Unload
You
what?
know, so it was an interesting experience, I would say, working with
Yeah, talk about turning the tables.
New donation from wife
So
caught him cheating
why
with
did
one
you
of those
leave that?
girls.
Oh.
I actually didn't leave. I got fired
Oh!
after 8 years with this company.
8 years, and he got fired with one incident. Jesus. It's not like he's running the country. That would be next.
Devoting so much time, sacrificing so much time. I accepted tickets to an Adele concert at Staples Center when it was
At
originally
least it
called
wasn't
Staples
Jason
Center.
Derulo.
And In-N-Out didn't have a corporate policy on accepting gifts. And my position at the time, I was working with a lot of store incentives. Had a lot of vendors, outside vendors that I worked with. I did a lot of work with AEG, who owned the entertainment at Staples Center at the time, and so I had a lot of contacts there. So they reached out and they said, "Hey, we have 2 tickets. You've been a great client for the last couple of years, and
Trying
would you
to
want
catch
to
up with the
come
comments.
to the Adele concert?" Which before Taylor Swift and all that kind of stuff, she was she sold out the show in like 7 seconds. So I was like, yeah. So at the time, I took my wife and we had a great time.
That was Andy.
And came back, and the typical corporate chatter. They're like, what did you do this weekend? And I just said, my wife and I went to the Adele concert. How'd you get tickets? And I was like, oh, they treated us.
So I desperately want to go to America when he gets sentenced. Now, I have had a kind offer from someone to say they'll pay for my flights, which I might take up on yet. But my point is, I don't want to say too much about Donald Trump because I might not be able to get in. Anyway, didn't he want an award? He wanted a Nobel Prize, didn't he? For finishing wars or something. I think Chris would also be in that candidate where he would get
No, Danny, he wanted to. He thought he deserved it. Somebody else got the Nobel Prize, and he said that guy should have given it to him instead for stopping all of the wars.
Oh, I see. So it would be fair to say that there must be an award out there you get as a level 7 burger flipper that Chris might actually be a bit wish he got, but he got fired before he got with the award. Because is there any awards out there for burger flippers, like a level 7 burger flipper? I mean, that would be something worth
Just
investigating.
the level 7s, probably.
Yeah. Oh dear. A high end gift which can influence buyers' decisions. Oh, I never thought of it like that, Susie. That's why we've got Susie. She never misses anything. So everybody, let's get this right. Somebody gave Christopher, someone of influence, some tickets to a concert. It could have been a bribe, so they keep buying their products. That is brilliant. I never looked at it that way, Susie. Susie does not miss a beat, which is sometimes good and sometimes very bad for her significant other in her life. But yeah, she doesn't forget anything. That is a very good thought. That's brilliant. I missed that actually. So that's think about what that's just said there. So he's received an award, not an award, but he's received maybe a bribe, and he took the bribe. Maybe that's why he got fired, because there could be more to it. There could be more to it. Let's have a listen to it. At least we can figure out more about these Adele tickets.
But I didn't know I had enemies. I didn't know that I had made enemies
now,
in my
Chris.
own department. And so,
The enemies.
one of the girls
Enemies.
reported to HR.
Better than enemas, just saying.
And
Yes, because you wouldn't
they
date
do
her or
their
something, correct?
investigation. 2 months later, I go stay with HR, and it was very simple. The lady asked me,
This is very
"Did
simple.
you take tickets to see Adele?" I said, "Yeah."
Couldn't deny that. It's
"Did
on
you
TV.
know it was wrong?" "No, we don't have a corporate policy on accepting gifts." And I was giving gifts to a lot of people are coming to me for tickets and events and this and that. We did a lot
Really?
of work with Disney, so
At
a
In-N-Out
lot of the
Burger?
executives and other people
Wow.
would come to the company and ask me,
must have
"Hey,
been
can
in
you
charge
get
of
me
buying
tickets?
stuff.
Can you do this? Can you do that?" these are executives in a corporate office.
Are
They
you
can go
justifying it
online
now,
and buy
Chris?
tickets to Disney.
Back it up the bus.
They're coming to me for a specific ask.
Yep, I hear you.
And so if I have executives in HR and executives in other departments asking for tickets, free tickets to events or
I mean, he's going on
theme
about the
parks,
free
whatever it
tickets
might
a little
be,
bit too
why
much.
am
You
I
know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
wrong for accepting tickets to go see Adele?
4 hours later.
That coupled with a manager who didn't really care for me, I got fired.
Oh, who's
How
going to
did you
feed the
feel?
nation?
I was actually more heartbroken. This is a company
Oh, now he's going to.
that
Now, listen to this. He's now going to give this prime time moment to ditch his old employer that employed him for 8 years because they fired him for stealing because he didn't know they didn't have a stealing policy.
I was a rising star in.
Rising star.
This is a company, very few people in corporate worked in the store.
The
And
best
In-N-Out
rising
had such
star?
a high regard for people who worked in the store. So this is a company where I came from the store. I brought the culture of the store. I was driving
my
2.5
God.
hours to work. I had a dedication. And then
There he goes again. 2.5
off the
hours
clock,
to
An hour,
work.
I was driving
18
to
minutes.
LA or driving
I
to
mean, I scooted to work and it goes at 40 k's an hour. So I can only assume that Chris was scootering to work if they had electric scooters back then. But there's no way in hell. What sort of vehicle were you driving? Was it one of those like Flintstone ones where you had the wee pedals and you had to run along the ground? And just like 2.5 hours later, Chris going to work. And then
Why did it take you twice as
I
long?
did an 8 hours day. I fed the nation and then I had to drive home again on a wee go-kart again. That's going to be fun. Oh my good. Loving this story here, Chris. You're really telling the nation everything about you.
things to support the things that I was doing in my job that they wouldn't pay me for. But I knew that
New donation
if
from
I
Andy
just
was
went
his
there,
boss.
there'd be a
Andy-
peace and a calmness
Andy was
working
his
with
wife.
the store manager, the district manager, whatever.
She's the boss.
Volunteering my time at the personal charity events of the CEO
Thank you to the
and the
donations.
charity events that the company was putting on. So I invested a lot. And so when they made the easy decision to fire me, I was definitely
Got it?
heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
that Not
There you go.
more
Chris
went
has had his
into
heart
the
broken.
decision making, knowing that I worked closely with Lindsay, knowing I worked
Yeah.
closely with the regional managers and the divisional managers, them knowing my
New donation
impact
from She Hired Him.
in the company, even in the corporate
He's
office.
telling on
Every
himself
floor I
here.
went to, it was
Danny,
like, so Chris,
I
is
just-
if,
I
when I
just-
basically saying that since he was close to everyone, he thought he would be able to get away with it. And when he couldn't get away with it due to his relationships with the other people he worked with, he was really heartbroken.
It's a sad
That's
story.
what he's saying here.
So did Andy have something to do with working with him as well? Because that might be an interesting thing. Andy's his wife, if you don't know.
Maybe.
But he also mentioned somebody else's name in there. So I thought they were removing all people's names out of this. And I think he's actually name dropped.
Lindsay, the In-N-Out burger girl.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So I feel sorry for the In-N-Out burger now. Bingo. Oh, have we won something? This is cool.
not come into work, where's Chris? Having that big imprint on corporate culture and
Oh, Andy hired him.
Oh, all right. Well, this is interesting here. So he's actually now they've actually dedicated a public holiday to Chris because it was when everyone was expecting the burger guy not to be fired, and all of a sudden the burger guys got fired, and everyone was just so gutted that the whole world stopped eating burgers. So that's why you now have that public holiday called Chris Burger, Flip Day. Flip Chris out.
Flip your burger day.
Woo! Let's grill that.
and
Ooh,
I
sorry,
made
I've been a bit silly,
one
but I can't help it.
mistake, and I'm fired for it. Yeah, that sucked.
Susie,
Yeah,
they had a relationship together.
You're married now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did he marry Andy?
that's a hard conversation to have.
Okay.
Did you
first-
move back home? How did you then go?
Oh, please don't go back home, darling. I mean, really, I thought you were going to ask your third question of the evening. This is the warm-up interview. It does get a little bit better, not much better. But now we want to go back. She wants to take us back. We just got out of the dungeon, the hole, what do they call the well, and we've just climbed out of the well from the hole. I've known about his history, and she wants to go back.
Want to support your
So we had just bought a house. That's the funny thing. We bought a house in July of 2013. This is October.
Now, I think this is where we're going to find out that Chris's child just about got kidnapped. Now, how many of you people have had a child that's just about been kidnapped? And listen to this unfold. This is a serious story.
No.
Of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
This kid just about got kidnapped.
Yeah, I came home. Obviously earlier than
2.5 hours later.
And just said, listen, they said it was wrong that I went to the Adele concert, and they fired me for it. And my wife at the time, she knew I was having trouble with my manager at the time.
Oh, there you go.
It's a
Truth
name
comes
that
out.
that will go to the grave with me. We just did not like each other.
Well, there's the truth.
And so she
Wasn't
knew
about
that
the
had to
Adele
be,
tickets.
that was a big part of it. But she thought that a lot of people would have came to my defense, considering how close I was to the executive
To
arm
the
of the
staff.
company. So, after the shock and the heartbrokenness kind of dissipated, that's when you start thinking, well, how am I going to pay my mortgage? How am I going to? And so In-N-Out had a great 401k plan. I think I had like 17,000.
Wonder if they went after that money when Goliath Ventures was going after people's 401ks. Matt Burke lined them all up and said, let's go after the In-N-Out burgers and get all their 401ks.
$1,000
Right.
in my 401k, so I drained that, took the penalties. I think I came out with like 13 or 14 grand. And I knew,
I don't know why she takes them
okay,
at face
if we
value.
just use my money to pay the mortgage, which was $1,400 at the time.
Look, guys, I was up at 3 o'clock last night doing an interview with a guy called Signals, and it was a Filipino guy that's running a scam over there, and I managed to get myself in front of his Zoom meeting. I thought I did pretty well, and I had 20 questions ready, and I did ask him. I thought that even though, as Darlene Jones says, I'm not a professional investigator or journalist, I'm pretty sure I would grill him a lot more than 3 questions so far.
Then we have almost a year for me to find a job because my wife was still working at the time. And then I was only unemployed for 8 days.
You are
Unemployed for 8 days from flipping burgers to...
one lucky guy.
Oh!
What happened?
Got fired from there
I
too.
saw that a company called Ferry International, they're a real estate coaching company.
Real estate company. We have heard something about real estate company.
Was hiring an event planner. And I applied for it, didn't really think anything of it. And 2 days later, I get an email saying
We're desperate.
the
We'll hire you.
event manager wants to have an in-person interview with you. So I'm excited, but again, it's in Irvine.
2.5 hours away.
2.5 hours away. So I said, okay, as long as I can make X amount of money, then it's worth it. Because I've been doing the drive for so long, I knew I needed to make, over 50,000 for it to be worth all the gas and all that kind of stuff. So it was actually a crazy time.
Best
because
turnaround ever.
I meet with the event manager. Her name's Ashley Liu. We have a great interview.
Another name.
Yeah.
And she's kind of asking me like, why? Like,
Somebody
you're
just
in this
turned up at home for a
high
cup of tea. But I did miss that
position
one.
at In-N-Out, and now you're applying here. Like, why? And I just told her I had so much responsibility at In-N-Out, coming from the store, going into corporate, working with this massive team, doing all these events.
Massive team. They had 22 staff in that burger, he says later on. So that massive team is, I don't know if he's compensating for something, but 22 people is not a massive team. Is it? What is it?
down to the, smallest detail, that I think I would excel in this role because it didn't have all those complexities that In and Out did. And so I could really focus on the mission and the drive of what the company was trying to do with these events.
And what was that mission,
So you
Chris?
didn't tell her you got fired.
Of course not.
I lied.
I'm
I
vying
lied.
for my income.
Yeah, you just lie your way
You
through
know?
it.
And also, she didn't ask.
And she didn't ask.
Oh, because you didn't
And
ask.
you know what's funny is
People don't ask these questions.
I get offered the job. I drive home. A day later, I get offered the job. I go to work, and I only go to work for one day because the next day I have to be in Chicago.
For the company.
For the company.
Oh, wow.
And so I go in, we do a quick training, meet everyone, and I meet the COO. And she goes, "Who are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Chris. I'm one of the new event planners." I said, "Ashley just hired me." She goes, "I didn't interview you." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, do I not have a job now?" And
Loved it,
she's like, "That's interesting." She's like, "Ashley always has me do the last interview for her people that she wants to hire." And so I didn't think really anything of it till as I got more comfortable in
Now
the
he's
role.
done the best
And then I
interview.
approached Ashley one
And he
day.
lied.
We were having a self-evaluation. That's what they do in corporate America. You evaluate yourself, your manager evaluates you, and then you see where you missed. It's the dumbest thing in the world. And so I sit with her, and I was like, "I just have one question. Why didn't you make me interview with Cindy Quinn, the COO?" And she goes, "There's something special about you, and there's something that this office needed from you that I couldn't really put my finger on, but I knew the company needed you."
Sorry, I had to.
And I was like, "Okay." And
The company needed
when
him.
I reflect back,
Yep.
Real bad.
I did some crazy things that I should have been fired for at Tom Ferry.
Tom
Like
Ferry.
what?
So
Here we go.
I was given what's the term?
Oh, here we go.
And just fix my shirt real quick.
Oh, hold on. This is the part. Oh, shoot. It's riding up because he doesn't want his mummy tuck to show.
Are we good? Okay.
Okay.
I was given the term
camera guy?
Yep.
a habitual sidestepper.
Habitual
So-
side stepper.
Who gave you that term?
One of my friends.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't being like told no. I think if you're told no, you're talking to the wrong
sus.
person.
Yeah.
Because
I hear him though.
in a life of a celebrity, they're always told yes,
Yes.
which means there's always a solution. There's always someone willing to do something. Because if a celebrity or someone can pull up to a closed exit and walk in and go directly to their seat and ask for a specific drink or do so, they're
Yep.
talking to the right people. Now,
That's
obviously,
right.
status and money and stuff like that help.
Yeah.
But there's always someone who's
Yep.
willing to treat you in that light.
Yeah, that's right.
And so our events, Tom Ferry's growing, but our events are very sales focused.
Yeah.
And we have to be budget conscious.
Yes.
And part of our events would be a cocktail reception with the speaker, whether it be Tom or another one of the speakers.
Is he talking about
But
Tom
when I
Petty?
came on board, it was just beer and wine because it was $9 a person for open bar for beer and wine. So they're budgeting like $1,500 or $2,000.
New donation from Why is Darlene laughing with Chris so
learned
much?
I know.
that
I
if
noticed
I
it
can
too.
cut
What-
money.
She's like a giggly, clucky little girlfriend. Every time he laughs, she gives a wee sweet laugh. Maybe she's just nervous. Maybe she's human. Maybe she hasn't done many interviews with a guy that stole $400 million from people.
Maybe she's a pick-me. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? I mean, you know, this is where we're going to flip screens here for a second. This is Chris. This is where he's got to now with his alcohol. So that night that they did this round of drinks, they meant to have spent $100,000 on alcohol. And these are now gold bottles of champagne. but they're $2,000 a bottle. There's Chris. He's got $4,000 with alcohol.
New donation from Chris Hates a Budget, so I've heard.
Now he's got the fog machine and he's just living the dream. So he's certainly come a long way from corporate America days where he was just, that's good stuff. No, really weird. So she's a giggly little chick, actually, to be honest. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Save money.
Right, instead of the bottle
positions,
being 2,000,
I
it was
could
the whole
elevate.
bar. So he's gone from the bar being 2,000 that he was budgeting to now each bottle being 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, there's a wee bit of a change.
Other things.
Other things.
So the negotiation starts coming in and I start calling my contacts. You know, again, I'm coming from a company that was spending almost $40 million on internal events. We worked with the biggest AV companies. We worked with the biggest production companies.
So you don't think the Adele tickets was a bribe because you were a man that made decisions, Chris? Sorry. Chuck that in there again.
My name was well known in the events industry.
Oh, yes. He's the man.
The company is very well known. So how do I leverage that in favor of this new company? So, yeah, I start calling all the audio companies. I start calling the production companies. I start calling and I said, hey, I now work for this company. I want to bring you business. It's a new client, but they're paying X amount of money for AV. I need you to bring it down 20%. I need you to bring down 10%.
Poor people.
You know, but the AV for us wasn't big production stuff. So we're not talking about, you know, thousands of dollars. But if I could get $3,000 off AV and, you know, you're a production company, we have 70 events a year. I want to give you all 70, but I need the cost to be this. Yeah. Okay, I got another $2,000 over here.
And you're putting all that into alcohol.
Nah.
Yeah. Let's put it all in alcohol. I mean, this guy is absolutely blowing so much steam up his own ass. I've got a 96-year-old lady who's just turned up at home for a cup of tea, right? And my significant other just stuck my head in the office and said, you be careful what you say. So I'm not allowed to say it loudly, but Christopher is blowing steam up his own ass. Yuck. He'll be doing lots of things with his ass in a few months' time.
Elevating the experience.
Hallelujah. This just gets better and better.
And this goes into things that, you know.
Yeah.
So a month into working for Tom, we went from beer and wine.
Another name, Tom. I thought you were going to omit everyone's names out of this because Tom may actually be a co-conspirator to Goliath Ventures. We don't know that yet because he hasn't been criminally charged yet. Don't even know who Tom is. Tom Perry? No, it can't be Tom Perry. Is there another Tom? Do we have any Toms in our conspirator list? I don't think we did. Tomo, close. Maybe he's talking about Tomo before Tomo stretched his name out a wee bit. I don't know.
And to now full cocktail receptions because it's $11 or $13 a person for an open bar. And people enjoyed it. And that's not what I'm saying I should have been fired for. What I should have been fired for was because I started elevating the events in different ways and bringing some of the culture and things that I had learned at In-N-Out into Tom Ferry.
It was Tom Ferry. I thought that was a joke.
I'm just wondering about what the culture is at In-N-Out.
Well,
I mean, if someone could maybe describe what the culture at In-N-Out Burger is to me, that would be great. Because I have no clue.
Well, I reckon that if I had more time, we could sit here and ask ChatGPT what is the company culture like at In-N-Out Burger. I mean, I assume it's to deliver good hamburgers efficiently and make them taste yummy and be nice to your customers. But I don't know what they're talking about with this culture. Right. Do you think McDonald's have a culture? Like a corporate culture?
I used to work there.
What about Burger King, Hungry Jack's?
Like, I bring the culture to them. I'm like,
well, Taco Bell has a bell. Don't Taco Bell have a bell? So that could be part of their, their corporate culture. But In-N-Out Burger, they have a corporate culture. Chris was the man. He set the precedent.
Are better. They're more elevated. They're at nicer hotels because I was calling.
We've actually spent the first 41 minutes talking about In-N-Out Burger. and Adele tickets. What have we learnt so far? If we had a summary, In-N-Out Burger, corporate culture, In-N-Out, what's that
Chris's
name?
ego.
Oh, trailer trash, trailer park, and lots of laughter. So what have we got so far out of this? Like 41 minutes of interview, and they were probably hoping to get a couple of seconds worth of really amazing stuff.
In favors
Yeah.
for hotels that we had done a lot of business with. I mean, when In-N-Out did an event, we're buying out the whole Ritz-Carlton. We're buying out the whole Four Seasons.
Did they run a $9 million Christmas fund, Christmas event? Did they have Jason Derulo there? Did they pay him after the event? Did they pay their bills after the event finished, Chris? Did they have people ringing up the event saying that you shouldn't be running the event because it's a large-scale Ponzi scheme? No.
So when I'm now working for this new company, I'm calling those sales directors and say, I want to bring you a new client, but I need it to be at this property because it's nicer. So someone in the company decided that Chris needs to be in charge of all the corporate parties.
Wow.
And the one that I should have been fired for, we are hosting a big event. It was Tom Ferry's National Summit event that he'd put on. And we hosted it in Vegas. And Tom had bought out Hakkasan. And again, all the execs loved me. And so
Everyone loves Chris. Everyone loves Raymond.
In my
Of
negotiations, I
course they
said,
did.
we're only doing 1 or 2 drinks per person, and then it's cash bar. But anyone who has a gold
I wonder if
wristband
Chris has got any liver left.
gets to drink for free. So I was going to Tom, I was going to all the executives, putting gold wristbands on them, just let them know. And that way, that way they know that you're an executive and you drink for free. But I don't know why I thought I should give the employees that were working a gold wristband too.
Oh my.
And
Oh my.
so one of the guys that was an employee overdrank, ended up in the hospital because he overdrank.
It was his fault.
Nothing crazy. He was just super
Okay.
dehydrated, hyperventilating,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So they took him to the hospital, hydrated him, everything. Well, obviously it gets back to the
Vegas.
company. So I get back from Vegas, and I actually just had this conversation with my wife. I said, I this happened in Vegas, and I'm probably going to get fired.
What happens
like,
in
okay.
Vegas stays in
She's
Vegas,
like, I know
Chris.
you'll just figure it out.
Hey, we'll just watch this
So
in real
I
time.
go back from Vegas.
We're going to get KB
and
to remove
the
this.
COO wants
He
to
doesn't
talk to
realize
me.
he's still got this online.
Or sorry, not the
He's
COO.
my mate now.
Tom Ferry's brother-in-law, he was the VP of sales, wants to talk to me. So I walk through the door, and I get flagged to his office. So I walk in, I close the door, I sit down, and I go, before you start, I think I have an idea why you want to talk to me, and I'm just going to take full responsibility. I was like, I don't.
It's so cool. Like when I just messaged KB, right, in real time about, I've just discovered his stroke of success stuff. Now he's realized he's removing all the Christopher Delgado stuff from his website. And then I go down here and I see we've got pictures of Jonathan Mason. But I know that he's going to remove all these now. You know, we've got Steve Davis, all these podcasts. And it's hard when you're a podcaster or a YouTuber to remove content. You don't like it. But I know that he's going to do the right thing and remove that. Isn't that so cool? So thank you very much for KB for doing that. I really do appreciate that.
That is cool.
That is, because you know what it's like. We don't like removing content.
No.
It's like trying to remove a screwdriver off a baby. Not a good thing. Anyway, just thought I'd show that. But that's cool. Thank you.
Need a lecture. I don't need, I messed up, and I shouldn't have given employees reign spending company money for alcohol.
Oh, no,
and
that's
putting them
bad,
in a
Chris.
position.
You wouldn't do that yourself,
And
would
he
you?
goes, I appreciate how open and honest you are in owning where you messed. And he's like, at the end of the day, he's a grown man. He should have known how much he could have drank. But yeah.
Susie, did you just say the employee that overdrunk also was doing cocaine? Or have you got to add that part in there, Chris? Actually, I've never heard of Christopher doing cocaine, actually. But I'm not saying his staff wasn't. Well, his whatever they're called, sidekicks.
We don't want you spending company money on employees drinking. And he's like, that's it. Have a good day.
Fair enough.
And this goes back to, just people have a love for me. People want to see me succeed.
Oh,
People wanna see me
please.
grow.
I mean,
Gag me with a spoon, Chris. Stop.
do we really think that much of ourselves? I mean, you've got to love yourself to a certain degree, but you don't want to be in love with yourself. It's a completely different thing, Chris. I mean, do you go to
Is
bed
that
at
why
night
he's
cuddling
divorced? Because he
yourself?
can only love himself?
He'll be in the prison cell going like this. I love myself. I love me. I'm so lucky to have me in my life. I'm wonderful. Okay, carry on. Sorry. That's sort of just get me a bucket.
And I kept seeing that in my corporate career time after time after time again.
Corporate
I should have
career.
been fired.
We don't have
If that
corporate
happened in my company,
careers in New Zealand.
if someone was drinking on my bill and ended up like that, whoever their manager was, whoever's in charge, whoever initiated that would have been fired because you're a liability. Why would I keep you around? You're a liability.
Yep, that's right. I'm going to fire you. So who's in charge
And
of firing
so-
people now?
Yeah.
You just need to give people Adele tickets and say
So
you're
all
fired.
these years, I mean, from early to now, you're married, you're an adult. There is this
an adult?
pattern of you being a liability, but yet you somehow make it out on the other side.
Did he? Did he though? I don't think he did.
Is it a pattern of liability?
Ew. I hate this.
Oh, come on. This is the moment. What?
However you look at it, whether it's a pattern of liability or a risk to a company, I think my ability to own and confront whatever that situation is what people saw.
I just put a poll in the chat room, everyone.
I could have had 1,000 reasons to go to In-N-Out. I could have walked into the HR office. I could have threw every executive underneath the bus and said, you're not going to fire me because I can get the attorneys in right now,
Yep.
the In-N-Out corporate attorneys, and we can have a legal discussion of how this is going to go down.
Yep. Threatening them.
That's not how that works,
But
Chris.
I owned it. I said, yeah, you asked me direct question. Yes, I did that. Yes, I did that. And I accepted the consequence. Same thing with Tom Ferry. They didn't
did
even need to talk to me. I
search
walked
the
in
connection
the office
between
and
Tom
knew
Ferry and
exactly
Chris.
It
It
wasn't
didn't
going to play
exist.
dumb.
I couldn't
Sit there and be like,
Why are we here?
yeah, wasn't asking him how his weekend was. I didn't care, and he didn't he didn't care either to tell me. And I think people
He's so funny.
gravitate towards that directness. People gravitate towards that honesty because it's very rare
Yep. That's
and
right.
it's likable.
It is, Susie.
If you know where you stand with someone, even if the person hates you,
Even.
but you know them, you like them
Sorry.
because you know where you stand.
You know where you
So
stand.
you're like, this guy hates my guts,
Hates his guts.
but I like him because I know my standing with him.
It's also common
can
with
tolerate
chefs,
If
Susie.
you
Oh,
don't
is
know
that
where
right?
you
It's getting
stand with
awake.
people and it's just mystery, you lose trust.
Yeah, especially the white
So you
stuff.
can't trust them. You immediately dislike them because you can't trust them.
Can't stand them.
And you're like, why do I have this person around?
Yeah. Get rid of them. Terminate them. Fire them. Give them
So
Adele tickets.
did you eventually leave Tom Ferry?
I got headhunted out.
Headhunted
Yeah, I got offered a job
at the circus?
to work with Grant Cardone in Miami as
Heard
his
about him.
director of events.
Oh my God, they're all the same.
And
been
I
to
packed up
everything
my
we started.
family and I moved.
I moved.
And I probably handled that whole situation wrong.
Right, make disclaimers already.
I was very close with Tom,
Tom Petty.
and working for him was probably one of the best experiences. I loved it. I loved my coworkers. I loved my boss.
I love myself.
I loved Tom,
I love
the
Tommy.
culture of the company.
Yep. Here, Chris.
And instead of seeking guidance, and saying, hey, I have this job offer. What are your thoughts? Should I do it? Should I not do it?
Mm-hmm.
What's my standing in this company? Where do you see me? You know, I want to, having that level of maturity to, I was just looking at the money.
How much were you making at Tom Ferry?
30,000.
$52,000 a year. Yeah.
But it was a lot of money for somebody who was making $8 an hour at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and driving 5 hours to work
and it was
back.
just enough money to pay my mortgage, to do the 2.5 hour commute,
It's 2.5 hour commute now.
and then have a little
halved.
to, go on a date night or whatever we might
He's a
want to
perfect
do.
partner as well.
So, when you get now a 6-figure contract from Grant Cardone
Wow.
and the ability to earn commission,
Yep. I
it's
hear
like,
you.
well, I can figure out how to move to Miami. This is double my salary, and then I get to
Cancel
earn
those
commission on
cameras.
top of it. So,
So did you just leave Tom Ferry? How did you?
yeah, so I was in Chicago. I was back in Chicago working for Tom, and I get an offer from Grant Cardone's company to come work for him as his director of events.
His fault.
I accepted the job offer. I flew back
Not that
to Tom
surprising.
Ferry, and I called a meeting with him, and I just said, Grant offered me a job, and I'm going to
Yeah,
take
I'm out
it.
of here. Thanks for nothing.
And you can tell I heard him.
Oh.
You can tell.
Oh. I bet you
He
haven't heard him now.
basically was like, good for you. Good luck.
Good for you.
Then I was walking out. He tapped me on the shoulder,
Tapped
and
out.
he goes, if Grant steals any
Turning
more
into
people
quite
from my
the
company,
story.
I'm going to come after him.
Surprised they
And
didn't put sad music.
that's when I
behind this.
knew
I know.
I messed up.
We got music.
That's when I knew I hurt
Here
this
is it?
guy. And so that's why I regret how I handled that situation. But again, I've been poor. I grew up poor. My first job, I was making $8 an hour and was still broke at 16, with no bills, working my ass off to then now go make 6 figures. Like, I was like, I needed this opportunity. And secondly, I'm still of the mindset, I don't have a college education.
He's gonna cry.
I'm working in corporate America, and now
We're just going to take a wee break here, guys. Just if you didn't know, we have this video. This video here
Mr. Matt.
basically brought
Danny, you
Goliath.
just want to torture me with this mirror.
I know. I had it on yesterday, and I said, "Where's Queen and Karma?" This mirror is not clean. Okay, it's gold flecks. This is the video that had 39 views. It was put on a Vimeo channel, and my Avenger teams managed to find it, and we broadcast it on the internet. After we put this video online, we got denial server attacks for months on my website, and we also got offered $150,000 to take all my videos down and stop exposing Goliath Ventures. They even staked out my neighborhood, found out where I lived, unfortunately, knocked on the door to offer me a better deal. And I said,
That was
can I record it?
scary.
And they said, no. And they said, we aren't going to let you put it on camera. And I said, well, you can go get off my property. Beep. And anyway, long story short, this video, it was the demise of Goliath Ventures. And if you don't know it and you haven't seen it, please watch it. This video, I've actually printed it out, put it on my bedroom wall. It's so good. But this is Christopher telling his staff how it's going to be in his company.
Ask in the chat. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you guys for dedicating your day to be here. I know
Burks.
we're all super busy, and this is very important, not only for the company, but for myself as well. So with that said, I'm going to turn it off to Mr. Piers and Mr. Matt. They have your guys' undivided attention. Please be off your cell phones as much as possible today, and please make sure that your day is available for these guys. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, maybe it's not the part I'm looking for. But I wanted to show you the part where
Mike the man.
Perfect.
he told everybody that they must
All right.
sign NDAs from now on.
time.
It is that time. Thank you,
Okay,
everybody,
hold
for
on,
being
hold on. See if we
here.
can find
Trying to
it.
get into that space of a lot of either retired or big pro athletes. And to your point,
Oh, hold it. Here it is.
I
Is it
will
here?
spend every dollar I have, like I've said before,
the
I will
one.
spend every dollar I have to protect my company, and I will come after you in every way possible. So just follow that small step and do yourself and save yourself a headache. Got it?
Critical.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah, and from our end, they have to be background checked. That is a key.
I have a lot of money.
Yeah. They do need to be background.
So what he just said, check with Nadia. I do have a lot of money. And Nadia was the bookkeeper, which he's going to talk about in these videos. But this video, I tell you what, if you haven't watched it, I'll just put the link in the chat room. It basically tells you the whole structure. This was a private video. This one broke the camel's back. And this video, they did not want people to see this. So if you're wondering how it will unfold or all the claims that they made, it was just absolutely batshit crazy. And I took the liberty of going through and time-stamping the whole damn video of all the claims they made. So you can go through here and you can search for KYC, AML, training introduced, everything you can think of. And I just really want to thank the one particular Avenger who found that video, gave it to me. I didn't even look at this video. And then I got given it again and I still didn't look at it. And then I looked at it the third time. And then when I've watched it for the 15th time, every time I watch it, I discover something else. If you are on the fence, if you are thinking that Christopher Delgado is a fluffy little sheep, he's not. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. This whole, this whole interview is staged to give them a persona of someone who was nice, fluffy. He's not. He defrauded people out of $400 million so far to date. He left a trail of debt behind his company. He took people's 401ks. He took firemen's pensions. Everything you can think of, this guy has stole from, and he's pissed it all away. So if you're in a nice, cozy armchair at the moment, you're on the fence and you're thinking, Christopher is telling us about his story from rags to riches. This is from rags to scammer. And this is the guy that deserves, you don't lock people up. You don't plead guilty to 50 years in jail for no reason. And that's what he's done. And he wouldn't have done that unless he's guilty as charged. All this is to stick it to the people that didn't let him. Even, I'm surprised he didn't even mention me in here somehow. He did mention what I did, but he hasn't mentioned me, but he's named other individuals in here that he, and it's just, to me, it's just a sham. But anyway, sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Background checked too. Like that is a key. So.
Oh, we're playing the other video. So we need to play this video.
I have a director executive title. It's huge. Now I can take that and go run departments because now I have this title in corporate America for a very well-known entrepreneur.
I searched for Tom Petty and Chris Delgado's connection and found nothing. In fact, that's how I found KB's.
Did you look for a connection between Grant Cardone?
Well, I know there was a connection there for Grant Cardone.
Okay, so
Grant
maybe
Cardone.
he knew him through Grant. Maybe that's where the connection is. Maybe the connection is Grant Cardone.
Yeah. So if I went, hold on, I've got to.
Have we spoken out about Grant Cardone?
Oh yeah. I mean, when COVID was happening, there was an app called something Club.
Yeah. He's had a few things.
Yeah, so I've just chucked that into there. And this is just, grok, which isn't staged. I've just done this
Christopher Delgado, formerly the Director of Meetings and Events for Grant Cardone, later became the CEO of Goliath Ventures. In 2026, Delgado pleaded guilty in federal court to wire fraud and money laundering in connection with the $328 million cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme. Delgado was arrested on federal charges and reached a plea agreement with prosecutors. Key details of the case include the fraud. Delgado operated Goliath Ventures under fraudulent promises of monthly returns from cryptocurrency liquidity pools, but instead used new investor money to pay off existing investors and fund a lavish.
Ask it about Tom and Grant Cardone being connected.
Oh, that's a good one. Tom Petty. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Tom Petty. Okay, Tom.
I don't know if they're connected, but
Petty.
Tom, T-O-M.
T-O-M.
Yeah.
Petty. P.
Yeah. E-T-T-Y.
T-T-Y. Petty. Grant Cardone. Let's just try all that, shall we? No. So just
Maybe take Chris out and I want to know if they're connected.
Tom Petty and Grant centered around notable luxury real estate. Because Chris was didn't he say he was involved in real estate somehow?
Yeah, so maybe that is the connection. Maybe the connection is through Grant Cardone and the real estate, and then that's how he knows Tom. Because that would make sense to me. Because they kind of all like hang out together. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, long time residents. But this is going back to 1989. Somebody's celebrating.
This is just his talking about his properties.
Oh, there's the cigars.
Tom Petty's past properties.
Did you know?
I'm assuming that there it is.
I won't be able to smoke those cigars when I go to prison. Oh, sorry, I was speaking as Chris. I'm sorry, Tom Petty. Real estate, real estate investment. Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. All the rich people hang out together. And Florida's such a small place. It's Tom Ferry.
Oh, it's Tom Ferry. That's it.
Oh, that might. Okay, all right. Sorry. See, I told you, Susie doesn't miss anything. Okay, let's go back.
I don't know who he's talking about.
Business coaches. Oh, yeah, the same. But operate in different domains.
But Tom Ferry also does real estate.
Yeah, they probably know each other.
So I'm thinking that would probably be the connection, though.
Well,
if he does know Tom Ferry, if he does know Tom, I'm guessing it's probably through Grant.
Yeah. I mean, Grant Cardone, I have got no time for him whatsoever. It's just another, Patrick Ben David, Grant Cardone. I don't know Tom Ferry at all, but Grant Cardone's got a real bad name for doing coaching and giving you a $1,100 package for $100, but you must sign up immediately or you're going to miss out and all this sort of things. Hello, we've got lots of happenings in the chat room here. We've got lots of game over, 100%. Hit the dartboard, nail on the heads. Game over. It's like one express elevator going to hell, going down. That was in Aliens 2. Fascaz, his name was. Anyway, interesting. All right, let's get back to the circus. Let's go back to Christopher. So don't worry, if you think this is a wee bit boring, tomorrow's going to be more exciting because I get mentioned and so does a few other prominent people around Orlando. But so far, we just needed to get the In-N-Out burger out.
And we're doing big events.
Big events.
Big
Name
hotels.
them. Yep.
And so I needed to take that risk.
What risk was that?
So you got paid a lot of money to spend other people's money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was making tons of money.
I call it the best college education I could have ever had. Working with In-N-Out Burger, having a $30 million budget. Working at Tom Ferry, we
and got fired because he took Adele tickets.
$multi-million budgets.
Really? You want us to believe that?
That's true, Susie.
So I got to know what worked, what didn't work, what marketing strategies work, what was a complete waste of time.
Actually, the magic sauce, which we did have a video about, is actually Jonathan Mason. And Jonathan Mason is involved in this everything, isn't he? I don't even know if we can actually get that out there. And I don't know. I'm just looking it up off the screen. But Jonathan Mason, do we have a video? Yeah, so I'm going to play this. It's probably not going to be the biggest video ever. Oh, yes, it is. I just want to play this, but this is the connection between Grant Cardone and Patrick Ben David and anything to do with real estate. And I'm just going to ping this here. I might have to turn the music off, but let's have a wee listen first. Is this going to play? So when I saw this video, I thought, oh my goodness, I can see how they're all connected now. And that's not going to work, is it? Are you really going to do that to me? All right, we'll just see if we can download it. Let's see. Are we going to download? No, it's not going to download. Is it going to download in a hurry? It's downloading in a hurry.
Jonathan Mason is a Bet David guy.
We are LMT Financial. We're located in Altamont Springs, Florida, which is outside of Orlando, and we offer life insurance and annuities. So our mission is to build leaders and change financial future.
Okay, hold up. We'll stuff that up. Let's see if we can stuff it up again, but this time properly.
We are LMT Financial. We're located in Altamont Springs, Florida, which is outside of Orlando, and we offer life insurance and annuities. So our mission is to build leaders and change financial futures.
Jonathan is a fearless leader with
All right, Jonathan's a fearless leader. Now,
Sure.
what really
It
got
makes
me
him
about this
great
video
addition to Integrity's network
is that Jonathan knows Patrick Bet David, and
Yep.
Patrick Ben David was questioned by CoffeeZilla, and Patrick Ben David said that they received sort of endorsements about Christopher and his credibility. Now, I can bet you money against the fact that Jonathan would have been the person that gave Patrick Bet David the green light for Chris.
Yeah, it would have probably been Jonathan and Grant.
Yeah, well, they all knew each other. So in this, and the real shocking thing, which you're about
What
to
I
see.
love about our group.
So I'm going to show you
is that we have
somebody.
the heart of
So that guy there with the beard is a real estate guy. Now, Jonathan's company is all about insurances. And there's another guy as well. We saw them all together, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the long story short is this guy, about 6 weeks ago, sent out a Dear John letter to his investors telling them that they are not connected with Goliath Ventures in any way. However, everyone's dividends are frozen until they get an audit done because things have gone pear-shaped. It just happened to coincide at the same time. Now, you've seen Christopher is going to tell us that they were white labeling NLP Ponzi scheme. They were using another Ponzi scheme, taking Goliath Ventures investors' money and putting it into a Ponzi scheme. And then when that was paying dividends, they were paying it back to their investors.
MLT
So
Financial?
we also had Eric. There was another one as well. I haven't done this talk for so long, I'm forgetting actually. But there's another organization that Susie will probably chuck in there. And Coffee did another video about him. Eric. I've forgotten what it is. But basically, they're all doing the same thing that Christopher was doing. And this guy, when I saw him in the same photo with Jonathan, I thought, oh my God, I can see they're all together doing the same investments. They're giving people, return on investments that you just don't normally get. But they're all doing the same thing. And now this guy's in the same bucket of soup that Christopher's in. But I haven't heard anything more about it. But I just wanted to play that for a start.
Trailblazer. They know what it's like to take a seed and help build it into something what it is today. During the recession, my family took a really bad hit, and I realized that no one sat with my parents 20, 30 years ago. People in our country today, they need financial literacy. So I got into the industry to learn about money.
So if you don't know who Jonathan Mason is, he also did a video and he rang up, I've got 17 and a half minutes worth of videos of him telling everyone that there's $1 billion worth of crypto locked up. He was telling people that 3 wallets he's seen have got 600 or 500 million in it. And he was also telling us that Tomo was a federal investigator in finance. He's got friends in the FBI, and the whole thing about Christopher's arrest was a sham. And he used to be in the chat room going off at us. So the fact that Jonathan Mason is here.
Money, learn about finance, but learn about business and entrepreneurship.
Crazy.
LMT Financial's mission to educate individuals and families on financial security aligns perfectly with our vision.
For me, I come from an entertainment background. I want to have fun because when you're smiling and you have good energy, you're going to attract more, learn more, but you're going to retain more. Because when you're excited, you're going to receive more and you're going to want to keep showing up.
So there's, I'm not explaining this very well, guys, but there was another person that we did research on, and they have an office of like 80 people, and then he walks into the office and he awards somebody for getting $80,000 worth of sales, and everyone goes crazy, and she gets the bonus for the week. I don't know what product they were selling in these videos I watched. I'm not even explaining it very well, but it does seem like it's some sort of insurance. When you sell so much insurance per month, you get commissions, and then your boss is happy. So Jonathan Mason is selling insurances, and they're all doing this rah, rah, rah dancing around the floor. But then I'm looking at the people in the videos and go, oh, I know that guy. I've seen him at the Vault 2025 conference.
One of the reasons why most people don't
they
succeed
do real
in
estate
business
and
is they have low
insurance.
standards for
Yeah,
themselves.
so there's his mate. So this guy on the left here, in my opinion, has been running a Ponzi scheme going by his own admission to the email he sent his clients, and we got a copy of that. Jonathan Mason, best friends with what you're about to see is Patrick Ben David.
So your real standards happen when no one's watching, and integrity brings
Your real standard happens when no one's watching.
that to the table. The best leadership, the best training, the best coaching, the best technology, the best services, and the best resources.
Now, as an integrity partner, LMT Financial can utilize our entire platform and resources to expand their reach and make an even greater impact.
integrity is ahead of the ball. They have a program called Ask Integrity that gives us all the resources we need, and they're actually giving that to their agents into the field. So the strength in numbers is giving everyone the confidence to go again when the times are tough. They know that there's a big company behind them, but great leaders behind them.
So one of the great things about
Here we go.
John Mason, the first time I met him, I had a call with him and his brother. He was so good with
I knew that guy. It's his brother.
people. I think he's
Every
probably one
time
of
I
the
hear
best
Patrick
agents I've ever met
Bet
in
David,
my
now I just hear always Marco.
Yeah, same. I know, it's so funny. And this guy here is, he was the previous owner or is still a partner in this company. So effectively, he's giving Jonathan Mason a recommendation for his involvement in the company that he owns. So it's like an in-house testimonial, which is...
Yeah, that's basically their whole gig, is that they're all a bunch of friends. They all run their companies, and then that's basically what they do with each other. It's crazy.
Oh, Susie said it actually, PHP, agency and integrity. So, like we believe that the investigation for Goliath Ventures hasn't even really begun. And I do believe that all the associates that are connected are going to be held accountable for being, we don't like their business practices. I don't personally have to like their ethics. I don't have to accuse them of anything. But we know that Jonathan Mason, I've got investors who invested millions of dollars through Jonathan Mason. And he was doing it through his networks. And Nick Petrillo was also connected to all the medical industry, and that's where he got all his investors from. Nick Petrillo, 900 investors. Jonathan Mason, I don't know how many investors he brought in. Sure, 500 people were brought into Goliath. These guys all went through their professional networks and pitched Goliath Ventures to them and told people it was a guaranteed investment without no proof of it. So that's why we're calling them co-conspirators. Patrick Bet David took $1 million from Christopher, to have a name sponsor. And when he was questioned by CoffeeZilla, didn't you think offering people 3 to 8% return on investments per month is unusual? And he goes, oh, not really. What the heck?
My crew, your clients love him. They give him referrals all the time, and I'm excited.
There you go. If you don't know, you didn't see that. So if you go back here.
All the time, and I'm excited about him. Love him. They give him referrals all the time.
So there's the photo, the family photo, and you got Jonathan Mason in there with the kid with the green around his neck. Happy families, lots of doggies in there.
I'm excited about the partnership.
Oh, we've got to have one of those rings.
With integrity, I think this could be an incredible partnership.
And that guy there, I tell you, I want to research him. I've got a file on him. If anyone knows anything about him, if you've invested with this guy, please reach out to us. We've listened to those recordings that these guys have sent that haven't been publicized. We have got more evidence, more recordings, more receipts than anyone else I know of. Even the FBI wouldn't have the database that we have got with what we've done when we've researched each and every one of these individuals. What was the name of the other one I'm thinking of, Susie? With the and we did, CoffeeZilla did a let's have a look at this. I'm just going to go ping this out. I've been a bit naughty.
No one wants it to stop.
If you
No
go to
one except for
Danny. If we go to links, if we go to Patreon, I can't play this video because it's on CoffeeZilla's Patreon, but if you do want to watch this video, you can go through and see Briggs and Stratton. So this is him talking to Patrick Ben David.
Hello, quick update. Patrick Bet David reached out to me shortly after I posted.
Yep, so you get all these behind the scenes. I can't play them all. Here he is, the vault. He asked the questions. And then this one here, did I read this one?
He was in Dubai trying to salvage Goliath Ventures.
So true journalism, I tell you, is amazing. But yeah, so this one here. So this is, he's done Onyx Reserve. That's the one I'm thinking of. Thanks, Susie. She's got it in the chat room. But this was amazing. And this is Eric Clayman.
This is Randy Couture.
But this is the guy that we started investigating. He wrote to us and said, I've got nothing to do with Christopher Delgado. We're innocent and blah, blah, blah. And then and this guy here, they basically exposed him. Oh, look, there's me. What does it say about me again? Here we go. Have a look at this. Oh, where's me? Where's Danny? Danny was there. I saw Danny's face pop up. See what it says about Danny. But anyway, he came up in our investigation. Oh, there I am. See what I say.
They said, but they are part of, they're invested with BlackRock.
And I go, no, it's black block.
Or what about ousting?
Yeah, but honestly, worth $5. Join, go to CoffeeZilla, join there, watch those videos. But what I'm getting at, guys, is all these. What I'm getting at is these people are all in bed together, and this isn't. We haven't seen the half of it yet. So anyway, I just wanted to sort of bring you something extra.
It's Eric O'Neill.
Eric
Susie
O'Neill,
says, not Eric Clayman.
Oh, right. Better get that right. Eric Clayman plays some good music, doesn't he? But yeah, Tom. There's the Tom. There was another Tom guy, wasn't there?
We're having a hard time with names today, guys.
I know. I'm shocking. Oh shit. That's all right. I'm gonna go back to Jonathan. Where is it? Yeah, Tom. Yeah, no, there's too much. I'm going to look it up because it was actually interesting. I'll just see if I can bring it up before I incriminate anyone else. Thank goodness I didn't have my screen open. Eric Clayman. Oh, Eric Clayman is actually the lawyer. That's what I was thinking of. Eric O'Neill. Apostrophe. What am I doing wrong here? 1 minute, please. Eric O'Neill. Oh, have I not got that in the right one? Maybe I'm not spelling things right today. Onyx Reserve. Onyx. On. Nix.
And it's Tom Simon.
Tom Simon. Simon. Yeah, so they were the two people in that company, and we did actually do. Tom Simon. Oh no, I don't think he was involved. So not this guy here, but he was just interviewed by Tomo, and that was the funniest interview ever, actually, because he's been on other podcasts. This guy, but when we rang him up and asked him, he was FBI for 25 years, and he was and Tomo was interviewing him. It was a really hard case. But I can't find, anyway, we won't get distracted, but we've done lots of research. I'm not prepared to talk about it, and I'll probably stuff up and get myself in trouble. So let's carry on putting Christopher out there, and I'll look it up and see if I can find it where Christopher's still raving on about In-N-Out Burgers and Adele.
It was a complete waste of time on other people's dime.
So now you're at this Miami-based company making what, 110,
Is it 120? Yeah.
$120,000 a year. Must have felt like a millionaire.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I grew up always hearing,
Okay, I'm going to go make this money. This is a great opportunity for me. Is that a fair?
well, yeah, I mean, everyone kind of after the 08-09 financial crisis in the globe, my parents lost their house because of that.
The trailer or the house?
No, the house in Victorville, yeah.
Because he's only in the trailer for 2 months, and the trailer was rented, just saying.
And
I will
my
give it to
dad
Darlene
moved back
there,
in-
though. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, well,
that was
yeah.
kind of fun. That was her only funny moment, was when she was like, the house or the trailer?
Yeah. Or maybe she was taking the piss out of him, and we just haven't got her dry humor.
With his mom, with my mom. So they were out of Victorville. They were out of the high desert. And so really it was just kind of my family. So it was an easy decision to be like, let's just back up and go. The other thing too was, I don't know how true the stat is, but when I had the opportunity to move to Miami, I was listening to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of podcasts,
I'm just going to stop him there. I'm sorry to get out of the rhythm here. I just want to go back to what we was talking about a few minutes ago because I finally found it. So we had Eric McNeil, and then we had Tom Shields, and they were running a company called Onyx Reserve, not to be mistaken for Onyx. It's actually called, no, there is a company called onyxreserve.com, but it's not them, and it's called the onyxreserve.com. And when you go there, you get this website here. And you can come through here and you can read about how they do high yield investments for sports players. But unfortunately, you can't actually contact any of the sports players. But in this lineup that you see here, they had a pitch deck. And in the pitch deck, their new, their new operations manager was Matt. I think it was an operations manager, might not be the right title, but Matt Burks was here. And then I questioned them about why Matt Burks from Black Block was now working for this company. And the real kicker is, if you go to their his corporate page, which is his own personal page, and click on the more, in here they tell you, even today, that passive income of 5 to 7% per month. So when we saw that, we did a massive investigation on the Onyx Reserve. When I met with CoffeeZilla, he said they were already doing a massive investigation on this company. However, the guy that was doing the initial investigation was actually the company folded or something. So he passed over all the stuff to CoffeeZilla, and he carried on the investigation and basically caught this company out in a lie. So you've got to go watch that video of CoffeeZilla's. It's just brilliant what journalism, real journalism, does, and it's the best $5 you ever spend. But you know, not I don't even know how to express it, but these guys are just all in bed together. And when I saw Matt Burke associated with these two companies, and then when I received correspondence from Neil, this is what we got from. This is from a company that claims they've got nothing to do with Goliath. Listen to this.
Hey Danny, this is Eric McNeil and Tommy Shields here with the Onyx Reserve. And a friend of ours showed us a tweet that you posted regarding our company. We looked at your profile and some of the videos with Matt and Goliath, and wow, that is some eye-opening stuff. We would love to hear more about what you know with Matt and his affiliation. We have immediately stripped his name of any and all material until we can adequately finalize some due diligence. Furthermore, our fund's primary thesis is early-stage venture. It's important to note that we have not sent any money to Matt or Goliath, nor do we have any affiliation with that Goliath group whatsoever. Would it be possible to hop on a call to understand that whole case a little better? Also, as you can imagine, those sorts of affiliations could damage our reputation that we've done a good job at building. Would you mind removing that tweet, please, for now? There are probably better ways to continue your endeavors opposed to bringing us in on it. We would greatly appreciate that, as we have done nothing wrong, nor are we involved materially with that investigation. Let us know a few times to connect this week if you're open to it.
So
and if you could confirm that tweet, removing it would mean a lot. Thanks.
So they want me to remove a tweet where I basically throw these guys under the bus with their association with Goliath Ventures. And they do have an association because Matt Burks was that association. Since then, I've emailed them. I've emailed them 3 times, no response. I've rung them, no response. Everything about them was no response. You know, and then, you know, like it was just literally batshit crazy.
I'd be evil. I'd write back like, since you have not responded after 2 replies, I will not remove it. Have a nice day.
You know, you know, and then yeah, it's just
It's hilarious to think of CEOs begging somebody to remove a tweet, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think this is the I think this was the presentation that we had. Hopefully I have it. I'm not sure if this is the one, but anyway, any company that can say 5 to 7% return per month is what they're offering. And then they claim that they have got connections with sports players and the like. I just wish I actually had the actual screenshots of, I probably do. Oh, here we go. Rightio. So here we go. Where we stop, no one knows.
There it is.
Yeah, I knew I had
see
it.
him.
We have everything eventually when I find it. But there's Matt Burks there.
I know
operations.
you had covered it before.
I have. I've done lots on it, but you know. But this was an email sent out to their customers. We've even got the name who they sent it off to. You know, but these companies are all the same. So now, so what I'm getting at, guys, is we've got this company, the real estate guy who sent the Dear John letter out there. We've got Jonathan Mason selling insurance. And then we're looking at Christopher here, who wants to dob in everybody to keep it, so he keeps his 50-year sentence as low as possible. You know, there's a whole syndicate of these guys that are going to fall.
Because I had such a long drive. And I heard Gary Vee say that 90% of people or 92% of people live and die within a 40-mile die within a 40-mile radius of where they were born.
Okay.
And for me, Victorville is
I don't think Gary Vee would say that
from San
anyway.
Bernardino County
Gary Vee is like the most
where I was born at.
kind person.
So I was like, if that's true, I need to get the hell out of this place because I'm sure not dying in Victorville.
Oh, so much for the people living in
And so
Victorville.
that's when I was like, we need to move. We need to move to Miami.
So you make how much do you think working in this new role?
Ooh, 80,000?
Over time.
Yeah, over time, I would say
85,000?
probably close to 200,000. Because there's commission aspects to it, maybe a little over 200,000.
Is that pesos?
How much of it did you see?
Or American? Here we go again. More wafter.
I spent 100 grand
there's
on
always
liquor,
something, right?
20 grand on women.
When you make a
5
lot of
grand on
money,
the
or when you
airplane.
make more than what you're used to, there's always the car now needs 4 new tires instead of just 1.
This
now
is all
you can get an
bullshit.
oil
And
change
we
on
really
time.
got to this level
The
in
kids,
journalism.
the kids need new gear for soccer. We are also going to a church down
Oh
there.
yeah,
We were given a lot.
that's what it is. The
We were
$120,000.
given a lot to the
The
church.
soccer
We
gear.
were very invested in that church.
Yeah.
And
I got my
so,
gold-plated cleats,
we
some
wanted them to
gold-plated
succeed.
shin guards,
So yeah, you
and a
give more.
gold-plated ball.
You're allowed to do. You're allowed to take care of the house in full rather than piece at a time.
Oh, shut up, Chris. Hey, just Susie posted a link to my own post, which is quite funny because I clicked on the window. There's a thing here at the moment, which we've done a wee bit of thing. If you are a victim of Goliath Ventures, I know we're having a few laughs today on Chris and he's taking your money and that's awful. But there is an opportunity. Now, I did have somebody actually did something really nice for me. And in their victim statement, they wrote an amazing, it was heartbreaking to hear, to be given someone's victim statement to read. And then halfway in the victim statement, they mention about if it wasn't for this new journalist based in New Zealand. And I'm thinking, who the hell was that? Have we got some competition?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Bob.
Oh, is it? You moved to New Zealand. All the time we thought you were in California walking around the sand with your 6 toes. So,
Been in your backyard. I've been hanging out with Rob the whole time.
well, probably it was Rob. He was probably the guy that's trying to get them to pay me the 150 grand to take my videos down. But I really want you guys, if you've lost money to Goliath, your voice matters, and it's now time to make it hurt. Now, these victim statements that you can put together don't get read publicly. I think they go to the judge, and it helps them decide how much of the hammer should fall. So we've put a nice picture there of me pointing, and we've also put a link, and I'm going to show you this now, warning, and it tells you all about it. So this link that you've clicked on actually goes directly to, I better put that in both stories now. Sorry, I posted it in the wrong window. But it tells you how to write it. How has it affected your lifestyle or those close to you? I mean, this is a very real thing. I mean, if you've lost, your income, and look, if you follow the link we just gave you, it already has filled out Christopher Delgado's name, and it's also put the case. Name a victim. I'm actually thinking of doing one myself because I'm a victim. I've had to do all these bloody videos. I've had to take all the abuse from
You had a stroke, right? Like Chavez?
Oh, yeah, I had a stroke. I'm going to charge Christopher $300,000 for my court fees. I've had scammers before file fake court documents claiming that I caused them to have a stroke because I caused them so much grief in their business. And the same guy that said that was smoking like a train before he had a stroke, and we got him on camera.
$300,000 for the stroke. Another $200,000 for Bob private security. $300,000 for Queen's deep dive.
Yeah,
research.
Queen was the most expensive. We had to go there and watch the premiere. It was brilliant. So please do fill out that there, and that will help that 50-year stay at 50 years. You think about this. Every time Christopher gets, how am I going to say this? Every time he dobs in somebody, he gets a few years off a sentence, probably. But every time somebody fills out a victim statement, it goes to the judge. And people don't do it.
Plus one back.
Yeah, it's like a game of chess. Play all the pieces, but we've got for this one. Let's make this one count. We don't want more Christopher Delgados coming out of the woodwork in a few months' time and people get more hurt. That's why we do what we do. So please fill that out. I hope that was useful. Now we'll go back to boring old Chris, see if he's going to say anything intelligent. Hey, let's see in the next 200 words if he says anything that makes Darlene or us laugh first.
So I don't think we saved a lot, but we're living a very nice, comfortable life. Yeah.
You weren't broke anymore.
No, was not. Was definitely.
Had to pay for my own Adele concert tickets, though.
You know, I was living in Sunrise, so not quite Miami. So I was living in Broward and Sunrise. But, you know, on the weekends, we'd go into Miami for dinner or Friday night, or I'd meet friends at a nice cocktail lounge and have some drinks and hang out. So
we're going to hear about how the kid nearly got kidnapped soon. Hopefully it's in this one.
So the life definitely changed.
How in the world, why in the world did you leave all of that to come to Orlando?
Have you not seen his house now, darling? Sorry.
Miami is just a death trap.
Hmm.
I knew I couldn't be a good father.
Susie, that's
living in that environment.
A little bit snarky.
Miami's a nightlife town, and
he's
I worked for Grant for 10 months, and then I started my consulting company, and so I had clients coming into town every single week, weekdays, weekends.
And they just all wanted to hang out with Chris.
Also entrepreneurs, so we're not following a Monday through Friday schedule. It's it's Wednesday night, we want to go out. It's Friday night, it's the weekend, so kind of all over the place. Two of the companies that I was consulting for and ended up working with were based in Orlando.
What was their names?
And I had come to Orlando to work with them, and I loved it here. I loved the calmness of Orlando. And
did you visit the fire station though, Chris? Because I did. I went to visit the fire station to see Steve Davis. I wanted to say good day to Stevie, but I was too scared to go in. But I did stand outside and do a video of it.
It was way better to raise a family here than Miami.
Because you had the two boys at the time.
Yeah.
Yep, he adopted his
third. And so that's when I was like, yeah, let's move to Orlando. I just knew I couldn't stay in Miami. It would have destroyed me. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to become a cop.
What was this consulting you were doing?
Oh, yeah.
The edge I had on people was I have corporate background experience.
Okay. This is stupid. This is the dumbest interview part. This is really the worst of all the interview parts. This warm-up interview was just crap on crap. Poos and wheeze. It was running down the stockings, this one. This is just so bad. This is the boringest, most idiot backstory you could give somebody who's trying to paint some sort of hard luck story about life in the universe. So far, it doesn't sound anything abnormal about anyone else who's come out of school.
And I have different role experience, team building, structure, organization, growth.
Self-educated.
And so I was running into a lot of these entrepreneurs that were wealthy, and they wanted to build a company, they wanted to grow, they wanted to do different things.
What you don't realize, Chris, a lot of these entrepreneurs with the flash cars and the fancy clothes are actually faking it. They don't actually own a lot of that shit that you see on Instagram. Go and check out Money Mike's Instagram at the moment. It's a disaster. He's paid for people to run his Instagram account. He's trying to make him look himself like somebody he isn't. It's absolutely batshit crazy. And he's even admitting it's not the real him. He's just doing it to give people a facade of the person he wants to be because he thinks that's going to make him money.
But they have shiny object syndrome.
Okay.
So they're kind of looking around at everything.
Magpie man.
And don't know where to focus. And so I was helping these
blind
entrepreneurs build their companies, focus.
Well, name a company you helped
build. What do we really
Chris?
need to spend money on? What we don't need to spend money on? What's bringing
Alcohol.
in money? That kind of thing. And so that was my consulting life.
Hey, Danny.
For a little bit.
Yes.
So people paid you.
Do you ever wonder if some of the people that he used to work with are like watching this and they're like, why is this guy talking out his ass? He never did any of this shit.
Well, I think you just said something very intelligent then, once again. Though anyone that wants to tell us anonymously stuff about Chris, because we know this is bullshit, because I get the emails afterwards and people say to me, I can't believe he said that. If you're one of those people, let us know, because this is bullshit. I mean, this is just, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, the truth always prevails. And if you know he's talking porkies, then let us know. Because this is bullshit. I mean, the bullshit meters, I mean, yeah, it happened, but trying to stretch chewing gum before it breaks is what he's doing. He's stretching the truth as much as he can. It's like, I don't know, it's like, how long can you do that for before you run out of air? This interview's been stretched so long, even I've made it worse by doing my commentary over top of it. I mean, if you want to watch paint dry, this is more exciting than knowing about Chris's history. And I used to be a painter, and I know I've literally sat there and watched paint dry before.
And so did Bob.
Oh, yeah. But it's quite exciting. Oh, here we go. Go on, Chris. Come on. We've only got 10 minutes left.
To tell them how to run their businesses. You had no college
Run a
education,
Ponzi scheme.
no formal president role in any sort of corporate company, and people are paying you to tell them how to run their business.
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
When you think about that, I mean,
I think it's bullshit.
What do you think about that?
I think it's bullshit.
It seems wild to me.
Yeah, it is wild. Call them out.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
It is wild.
I
Give us
never
some
had a
names.
chief title position. I didn't take a Harvard MBA graduate course online,
Were you successful, Chris? Were they successful companies? Can you name one? Was it Coca-Cola? Was it Apple? Microsoft? Did you give advice to those companies, your mates? Who was it?
It was Enron.
Enron. I like Enron. Enron,
The entrepreneur space was so new, at least the social media aspect of it.
This guy's 34 years of age. I'm 56 years of age. I think I know more about entrepreneurship than he does. I'm what you call a serial entrepreneur. I like starting things, but I don't like finishing them. So, I wonder if there's different categories of entrepreneurs out there, Chris, eh? What do you call an entrepreneur that steals money? Is there a word for it? A fraudster.
Yeah, scammer.
Yeah.
And I had such a social media, I was working for such a social media company.
It was goat marketing, and one guy will take you to the moon. Paid $100,000. They spent $30,000 doing a social media campaign, and I can't tell you the rest of the story. But then he received a very large payment from the guy that he was working for previously, in the hope that Christopher would be able to get him in Forbes magazine. Nothing happened. Christopher kept the money. The individuals have been asking for his money back since day dot, and Chris is absolutely ghosts him. Now, the guy that I'm talking about owns a Veyron. Is it one of those flash cars worth $4 million? Veyron? And he's even got himself, he's got one of those Formula 2 racing cars, and he's got his name all over. So he's a big player. He gave Christopher a whole ton of money to do some marketing, and it never eventuated. So this was before, it was around the NLP days. So I know stuff there I shouldn't know, but anyway, hopefully I kept their identity anonymous.
Grant Cardone was a massive, promote.
Saturate the market.
Yeah, and they saw it once and you see it again. They saw it again, they see it the third time. It's just like in your face.
Oh, I just thought of something. That's very naughty, Susie. I know what you're doing there. But Susie just said, you think Chris will be popular in the pen. So he's going to be the new boy around town, as he says in one of these videos. Can't remember which one, but he talks about he was the new thing around town. So he's going to be the new boy around the pen. And we know what the pen is, don't we, eh? Ooh. Anyway, just thought I'd share that.
And so you had a lot of entrepreneurs that wanted to be Grant. Well, I'm the one throwing all his events.
Oh, God, this guy loves himself.
And so I had that alert to me, and
Grant's like, what?
Again, coupled with
Chris Grant's watching this.
Attraction that people are just naturally gravitate towards me. I think no one ever questioned it. You're the first person ever that would be like, why are these people paying you?
Oh, it was a second.
And it's a very valid question. No one's ever asked me that.
I have.
What was the name of the consulting company?
Gen Z Venture Firm.
Gen Z. It was the one he bought before Goliath Ventures became available to purchase. Gen Z. All right. I thought it was called Goat.
How long did that go on?
No, that was the one he made
Gen Z
himself
started
before
in
that, I think.
2019,
So,
and
Yeah.
we're a consulting firm until 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Is that a long time ago?
How much did you make?
Ooh, $4.58.
Wait, so did you leave Grant and then go do this
Cameraman,
full
it's
time?
blurry.
Yeah, I left. Yeah.
So why, I need to know, why did you leave Grant? Were you making so much more
Remember, Chris, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
money that you're like, I don't need this?
So it's kind of two-part,
Let me make up a story.
there's the truth, and then there's what happened.
Just as I said, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
And why I say it like that is I had went to a entrepreneur event in Miami, and I had people approach me saying, we want you to consult for our company.
So let's start with the truth. Is that where we are?
This is where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, more than willing to, but you have to buy me out of my salaries. And so, yeah, I was making a little over 200,000 with Cardone because I was telling people I was making about 250, which I think I was on track to
Sonny,
do.
the camera's driving me
So you have
nuts.
to
I
pay
don't
me
know what they're doing
$250,000
with
to
it.
leave Grant because that's what I'm making there.
They were going for the audio, I think.
And so I had people say, yeah, okay. I had one company pay me $100,000 through one company, pay me $100,000 through another company, same
Look,
CEO.
Okay.
But
okay. That $100,000, I know who that was. Just let's say a Planet Enterprise. The name of the company, they got paid $100,000 and only spent $30,000 and ripped off the guy by, the leftover, $70,000. And the same guy thought he'd go back and rinse and repeat and get them and pay them. I can't tell you how much because it will give it away. But it was just half of 500,000 up, okay, and they never delivered the product and never did any work and took the money. Unreal. And this is the company. So all this big talk about that one company, it's one company, one transaction where somebody he knew and they trusted him, and his marketing PR company took $100,000 of one of his mates and only spent 30,000 of it to deliver a half pie promotion service. And then they promised to do more marketing because he was actually quite happy with the $30,000 worth of marketing they spent for what they got, even though he paid 100, that he went back and threw in 500,000 and above. Isn't that crazy? And that he's making it sound like that was an everyday occurrence. It was just one company. I know shit.
I had another guy wire me
minimizing.
$125,000 up front.
Yep.
And so, I'm seeing all this money coming in. So I decide to quit Grants.
I think that's what pissed people off was his minimization.
I think they saw my email. I wrote my resignation email the night before.
And they wouldn't take it, right, Chris? Sorry, guys.
And then I wake up that morning and I'm locked out of my email, which only means one thing. You're getting fired. The fact of the matter, too, is the COO.
Fun story.
was
I
running
grew up
around
in
the
a place
office
called
asking where I
Penn
was
City.
at. And I was running late because I was quitting that day. I didn't care. And so I walk in the office. I get a tap on my shoulder that the COO wants to meet with me, and I obviously knew what was going on. So go in the office, sits down. And it was very brief. Like, we're letting you go.
Oh my God, this is like the same story as his In-N-Out
Turn over your
burger.
company items. Okay. And then don't make a scene while you leave. It's like,
Why
sure.
would you?
Yeah, sure. I'm quitting anyways.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyway.
So I get up, I'm walking with the HR manager, and I was like, asked her, I was like, how did they know? She goes, what do you mean? I said, how did they know I was quitting today? She's like, they don't. And I'm like, I was not going to get fired. And then she looked at my email and she goes, oh. So I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. There's a truth in what happened. I was going in there to resign and to quit. They found out somehow. And again, maybe my emails were being monitored. And they fired me the next day. So, yes, I was fired from Grant Cardone.
So you got fired twice?
With the intent, though, to quit.
Oh, whatever.
Sure it was.
Yeah.
So,
Of course it was.
Fired from In-N-Out.
Now she's holding him accountable.
Headhunted from Tom.
Okay, headhunted from Tom. and fired from Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
None of it mattered though, really, right? I mean, now you're making
$200,000 in the bank. Why did I care if I was fired or quit? Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So is
Of course
that
it
when
matters.
you
It
packed
always
up and moved
matters.
to Orlando?
No, so I lived in Miami.
It matters
till
enough he's still
August of
lying about it.
2019.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
drive,
I got therapy.
up and visit the companies that I was working for up here, then drive back to Miami.
How many clients did you have then to start?
3.
To start, 5.
And they paid you how much?
Anywhere from 100 to 200,000.
Each company?
Yeah.
What's the name of the company's
So
group?
you're bringing in over $1 million a
Yeah.
year. A long way from $8 an hour.
Yeah.
What do you do with that kind of money?
I think
Buy a bunch of bullshit,
that was
apparently.
the first time in my life
Yeah.
where I went into a scarcity mindset.
Scarcity mindset.
I was scared to lose the money. So if I'd spend $2,000 here, I'd try to figure out a way to make $2,000 here. If I spent $5,000 here, I'd try to figure out how to make $5,000 here. Yeah, that was the first time. And that was the first time in my life too, where I wasn't giving as much. Because I was scared to lose. I just became a millionaire at
Really?
27, 20, 28 maybe.
Wow. He's just gone from
Reflecting
flipping burgers
on
to millionaire
being
because he got
poor
fired
again.
twice.
Reflecting on being back in the trailer. Reflecting on days when your mom didn't know if she could stop at the fast food place.
Yeah. She
You
couldn't
didn't want to
stop.
be poor
She had to
again.
cook dinner at home. Potatoes,
When you
corn,
would think about that in those moments,
Had meat every now
what
and
was
again.
going through your mind?
roadkill normally.
I knew how hard it was to get to where I was at. And I knew the challenges. I was putting my fate in other people's hands. I was taking interviews at jobs. I was hoping to get this job.
How'd that go for you?
And they could say yes, they could say no. But if they said yes, it would change my life. And I hated that feeling.
Mm.
I hated sitting there.
Yep. Other
And
people
having
having control
someone,
of your,
I'm a
your
good
cruddy
guy.
life, eh?
I have great experience. I believe in all these things. But to have your fate sit in someone else's hands, I was terrified of going back to that. And I was like, I will never do that in my life. To sit across from someone and try to sell them me. Sell you me. I'm one of the most dedicated people. But people don't hire, in corporate America, people don't hire dedicated people. People hire scared people. If I'm dedicated, if I'm willing to show up to work, if I'm willing to go, they always say 110%, I threaten your job.
Yeah.
People don't think about that.
Yeah.
I threaten the manager's job. I threaten the hiring person's job. They don't want to hire someone like me.
No.
They want the person that just wants to skate by, has very little
What a
ambition,
narcissist.
who does a great job.
I know. I mean,
but just, just needs that.
I think it's worth saying. I mean, it is actually the psychology behind it. I mean, I don't even know how to express it, but that's his persona, his aura, who he is, and what he's.
Yeah.
It's
His
like
entire psychology.
It's stuffed. It's like he's got so used to drinking the poison, he doesn't know the difference between good water and poison. It's like he's just, if this is what is he trying to paint a picture of, he's molded himself into a sort of person or a persona that he just can't, like all the Grant Cardones and the Patrick Bet-Davids, and is he trying to say he's one of them, or that's where life should go? Like the direction he's taken his life.
He's better. That's the crazy thing, is that it's almost like he's trying to position himself as if they needed him. Like, he's the big cheese in all of this. And it's in all of his stories. He's always the best one. You know, the managers, he was better than them at everything, even. Everybody loved him. Everyone wants to be with him. Like, every time he tells a story, even if he's the bad guy, he has to put the blames elsewhere and then somehow make it so that he's the victim. It's ridiculous. It's like every single story so far.
Yeah. Everything's got a low and a high, and it just goes from one pedestal, one step to the other. You know, it's like you could actually just relabel all these stories he's just told you, and they all have the same pattern. It's like they're all squares going, you know, they're all the same dimensions, and they're all the same template. It's just a different
It's almost
label.
like the conference script that they do when they go on stage at their conferences. It's always the story of the rags to riches, and then now I'm the best entrepreneur ever, so you should join with me. And it's like this guy, even when he's sitting here on this couch for WFTV 9 and he's being interviewed because of fraud, he's still trying to paint himself out as like this great entrepreneur that even Grant Cardone needed him to run his business. Like, it's ridiculous.
If you unpack this though, you've got well, the trailer park stuff, he's basically out of his control. But his first time in any sort of community was a school. So he said he was the popular guy about school. He could go into a classroom and kiss his girlfriend. So he had a girlfriend at school. Not many kids have that. Then he got his first job, which was, I've forgotten already. It was the movie theater.
Yep.
He didn't say too much about climbing out of the, running the movie theaters and making the movies. And then it was,
surprising.
Yeah, that was surprising. And then obviously now he's working at In-N-Out Burger, and he climbed his way from the hot burger buns right to the top of that chain and got fired. Then he went from there to, and he was a legend. Chef. And then he went to corporate something else. So that was Grant Cardone, was it? He went for, and he was only there for 10 months.
He kind of just said, I went and worked for corporate. And then it was kind of like a mixture of things, it seemed like.
Yeah, it's not a very clear story. I also, it'd be interesting to know what the, like if this was me trying to paint my story and I had to tell people my wonderful story, so to speak, how would I tell this story? Like, what am I, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Can make any story sound the same as Christopher's? That's what I'm really what would I? Like, what message is he trying to send us? Because he keeps hammering home that's probably a better way of putting it, actually. Like,
he's trying to tell us he's the best and he's the greatest, but then he's also the biggest victim at the same time. And it's weird because like those two things are almost opposite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, but he goes like back and forth, and it's a strange, he's a very strange man.
Yeah, just got a comment here, which I sort of want to address. So we've got Howard Stern. You said, Danny DeHeck, you should be making at least 10 millions out of this, but you're probably going to make $10. I don't even really put a dollar value on this because I've actually, financially, this has ruined me twice doing my scam fighting stuff. And I've actually managed to, I believe that everyone creates their own luck and everyone has a bit of luck along the way. And to be honest, I've actually had a lot of luck doing my scam fighting stuff. So, I'm not driven by money. I need money to pay my bills, and I try to survive doing what I do, but this isn't my why. It's not like I want to, to be honest, if I did become a millionaire out of this, I wouldn't tell anybody, but it's not what drives me. But is that what drives Christopher? I mean, because he's had more, theoretically, he hasn't had more money in the book and shit because he's trying to make it big all the time. He's never got to where he really wants to be content. And I think that's the thing. Is he ever been content where he is? Was he content when he was getting $200,000 a year, if he was? And I don't believe that's true anyway, from Grant Cardone. Was he content then? And if you look, my worst year ever was $25,000. I've earned $500,000 in a year turnover, took home $275,000 wages in 1 year. And I also have lived for 10 years consecutively and earned over $100,000 a year. And that's just working from home, doing what I do. But when I went through a real messy divorce, my life went backwards. Been going backwards financially ever since. My worst year ever was $25,000 in a year. Now, to be honest, has my lifestyle changed? I've always driven brand new cars, except for the one now is about 5 years old, but I own it. First car I've ever owned. 10 brand new cars in a row, you know. But what I'm getting at is I've always been content. You know, I've had big enough money to know what money's like. I've been able to go in and spend $10,000 on something and not really worry about it at some stages. And then I've gone to the other side of it where I've earned nothing. You know, enough, not even going backwards and having debt and credit card debt for 2 years in a row. I weren't able to pay off my credit card. You know, but am I happy, content? Am I content with what I've got? My biggest joy today was I went to bed last night at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I did a video where I got to interview somebody, which I love doing. And then I went to bed and I woke up at 8:30. So today I've had 3.5 hours sleep and the night before the same. I know that's shocking, but I love what I do. And I'm not driven by money, but I do like money, but I don't love money. You know, and you're much the same, aren't you, Queen of Karma? I mean, you're on the bones of your ass. I mean, but everyone always accuses us. Well, I'm not saying you're accusing us, Howard, but I'm just saying a lot of people think that we're driven by money. I'm not. I need money, but I'm not driven by money. I would even...
We're driven by justice, and we're driven by wanting to speak up for the vulnerable, like people that get taken by these things. And that's the kind of thing that drives me. And my passion for research and psychology drives me, not...
Psychology.
Money.
That's what I love. I've said that. I was saying that to my significant other today, that I love psychology. You know, I love what makes people think. You know, even this interview here with Christopher over here is blowing my brain. Because
I've been analyzing this whole time.
Well, he's missing, isn't he missing what it's all about? I mean, he hasn't mentioned anything about his two sons, really. He hasn't mentioned about his wife, even though they've got divorced. They're not quite divorced yet, by the way. But he hasn't mentioned anything about values, ethics. It's all about, you know, deals and money and you know, getting more money in. I mean, I just don't have that drive to do. I don't get that. And have I missed something in life? At 56 years of age, Christopher's 35, 36, wherever he is, he's going to spend the next 50 years of his life, if he's unlucky, in jail. For what? What did he do? Did he live, was he so hell-bent in living in a trailer park that he just never, I'm just going to get rich. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to get rich and live life like, did he really buy that all these rich and wealthy people that he sees around him are really happy and that's where life goes? Is that what your focus is on? Look at that guy's car.
I think it is.
It must be.
I think for them, it's all about material. Like even their relationships with other people are always transactional. If you've noticed, like even these guys, like all like Grant Cardone and like Patrick Bet David, like sure they like all these people seem like friends, but they all do business with each other.
Yeah.
They're all like business partners more than actual friends. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is transactional to them. And I think it is all about the money and the fancy objects.
Crazy. This is an interesting question, and I love to address this one. Can I ask you a question? Sir, to heck, do you know the Whistleblower Commission in the federal system in the United States? Yes, I do. The IRS will pay 30% to whistleblowers that actually get some money back. Now, for Christopher, I was in a meeting with the CFTC, and there was two of us, and there was two of them, and they were the federal prosecutors, Department of Justice, whatever, the DOJ, people that lock people up. And we had a meeting with them about Christopher. And they asked me, have I filed a whistleblower complaint about Christopher? And I said, no, we haven't. And I said, if I do, what's the pros and cons? Can I, because you get this a privilege where you're protected to a certain degree. So everything comes at a cost. So I didn't actually do a whistleblower complaint for about 2 months afterwards. And it's the first time I ever have. And not to get the money, but just to make it so they know I'm available. And, you know, Bitcoin Rodney, he was part of a $1.9 billion scam. The IRS had meetings with me. And they said if they used the videos that I got given by Susie, funny enough, about him and his involvement, they would pay me. So I sat there in a IRS Teams meeting, showed them these videos, and they go, oh, thank goodness we've now got, he's just pleaded guilty. Well, whatever it is, he's in the courts right now. He's been in jail for the last 2 or 3 years. No money, and I'm a New Zealander. So the chances of me actually getting any money for the whistleblower, from the whistleblower program, how it actually works is I'd probably have to hire a lawyer and go to the the IRS and demand to get paid for what I did as a whistleblower. And to me, if I was going after the money, well, that's what you're insinuating, then I would have worked a lot harder at it than I have. And I don't actually believe there is any money there. There will be some money, obviously, coming back. And it would be nice to, let's just say, if Danny got $100,000 from this one here, it would be nice because I've spent, hours and hours now. So's all my whistleblowers. We've blown this case. We're the reason why Christopher isn't continuing at the moment. But it's not the money. And there's, monetizing what we do is just a waste of time.
See, like here, I am a whistleblower here in Canada.
Yeah.
But I don't get any money. I instead get more like legal protections. So if I speak out about scams and then they come to sue me, then my government might help me fight it. But other than that, I don't really have any fucking, they don't pay me or anything. And I'll tell you right now, I report every scam that I cover.
Yeah.
And we took down on Passive, me and the recovering unbought. He stole $108 million. I'm going to tell you right now, the government's only giving back $40 million.
Yeah.
So even if you get the victims' money back, they never get what they're promised. I've heard other stories of people trying to get on the whistleblower program in the U.S. and apparently it's not really worth it there.
No. And my first lawsuit cost me $33,600. And the guy filed a discontinuance. The American guy filed a discontinuance an hour and a half before the High Court judge opened the file. I'd already spent $33,000, and we won $25,600 worth of our fees. He never paid. But what did I get out of that? Well, there was at the university here did a paper on it, and they didn't want to use my name, but it's called Claim D, and they talk about the whole sagas of what happened and how it went down, how I fought, how I was, It was quite an amazing affair at the time. And at the moment, I just won a case in the New Zealand High Court a couple of weeks ago now with another guy, which I exposed, who was trying to claim digital harm.
Silence you.
Yep. And we won the first case in the district court. Then he took it to the New Zealand High Court and lost that one as well. I actually thought I might have not gone in my favour, but it did. The judge was amazing. So, and also I've got 3 cases in Pakistan at the moment. People don't realise that defending. I've got another case coming up. I was just going to be in the biggest newspaper we've got in New Zealand. They're doing a feature on me. And then they realised that I've got a court case. So they go, we better wait to see whether you win the court case or not before we publish the article. And I go, you're shitting me. And they go, well, if you lose, it makes us look bad. And I go, I'm not going to lose. The guy's a freaking scammer. And I won. I'm still waiting for the article to come out. But, you have no idea what it's like doing what I do. This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't Queen of Karma's first rodeo. We've been doing this for 8 years, haven't you?
I've been doing it since late 2019, yeah.
Yeah. And, it's not rewarding. And I've got some really big stuff coming up soon where what I can say is that I have some heroes in this industry, and one of them is definitely CoffeeZilla. But there's some other heroes in this industry at the moment, and I'm
like Daddy Jim.
Yeah, okay. I don't know who that is. I do, but
that's Jim Browning.
yeah, Daddy Jim. So I mean, there is an opportunity coming up where things are going to get large for me, and after doing this for 5 years, to even touch some of these other people that are doing the same job that I've looked up to. I mean, to meet CoffeeZilla face to face was worth every single cent, every single minute I didn't sleep was worth it, because those guys are just the unsung heroes. They've been doing this longer than me. Like I know I know Queen of Karma would spend anything from 8 hours to 20 hours putting together one of these videos. And if she's lucky, she probably would get $10 out of the monies from doing one of these videos on a good day.
Yep.
And it's, or my average spend or my average clicks on videos is anything from, some of my videos have made me $200. Others are normally averaging around $3 or $4 if I'm lucky. So, people think we make our money from doing this YouTube stuff. We don't.
Right.
It's just a passion that is even to explain to people why I do what I do, I can't. And I go, well, I've been brought up in a cult and I got gaslight to by people. They told me I must believe something. I grew up with it, so I believed it. I thought it was real. And, and that's why I do it. I'm sick of people being gaslighted to in Zoom meetings, tell that this is their secret to their independent. That's why we latched onto
fix their lives. All the
crap.
above.
Yeah. Hey, we've only got a minute left of Chris.
Like religion.
Let's go end Chris for today.
That next bump. They don't want a driven person like me. They don't want someone with a big personality. Because they threaten your position.
Oh, position.
And I knew that I never wanted to be back in corporate. I never wanted to be at a 9 to 5.
Okay.
And I would do whatever I can.
Did you what he said?
To not go back to that.
Whatever he can.
Wow.
That sounded like a threat.
That is
Yeah, he got sick of life. Now he wants to spend it in a prison. Is that what you're saying, Chris?
It's interesting, right? Because in the job interview, they always ask you questions about your drive, your perseverance. And it's maybe all just for what they can put on paper, but not what they really want to show up every day.
No, it's like, look at my name on a sheet of paper. One of the most qualified and perfect candidates for...
What sheet of paper are you thinking of? I'm thinking of the indictment. Sorry, yeah, okay, just saying.
That job, what I'm applying for. Then you couple in my personal life. I'm a devoted father. I'm a devoted husband. I'm committed.
Are you really a devoted husband? A devoted father? What have you done to your kids? They're going to go to school and they go, who's your daddy? Christopher Delgado. Oh, isn't he the guy that's gone to prison for 50 years for fraud? Yeah. Okay, would you have done this if you really were a devoted father? If you really cared about your kids, you wouldn't have done this. And been a good husband? Well, I think you've had 8 mistresses that we've tracked since we've been following you, Chris. We had all these London girls coming out of the woodwork telling us that they met you, that everyone's talking about all your girlfriends you've had, and you're still married. You haven't even got your divorce through because you couldn't negotiate. And that's why you got that other house that's now been taken back. Wonder where your wife's living now. Wonder where Andy's living now. Are you really a good father? Are you really a good husband? Is that where you want to leave? Is that the message you're trying to betray here? Sorry, just getting away.
I was with the company for 8 years. I worked in the store flipping burgers and cleaning bathrooms to then working in a corporate events team.
Well, it's going to be just like that in prison, mate. You'll get the cleaning job straight away. Love to clean up a prison toilet, just saying.
Managing a $30 million budget.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want me on your team? And the only reason you wouldn't want me on your team is I threaten you.
Orange County Jail, we've got a new employee for you.
And that's a shitty, that sucks. That a lot of people today...
I gotta run, Danny.
Can't get
hey, you've got 1 minute. You can't run yet.
They're too good.
Here it is. Last words. That's enough for today. Say it. Go on. That's enough for today. That's it. That's it. That's it, Queen of Karma. You're done. You can go. You run.
We made it.
We did. That was 1 hour and 9 minutes of our life. We'll never get back. Tomorrow's more exciting. You run away and I'll finish up here. But lovely to have you on stage with me. Thank you very much for dropping in. Love you as always.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace out. And I'll give you, make sure we put her YouTube channel in the, if we want to join, make sure you do subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. It does actually help us out. We're not just doing it for subscribers, but subscribers gives us reach, and the algorithm sends our videos to people. I don't get a hell of a lot of people looking at my videos, more than most people think, to be honest. I might just tell you a little bit of a story about being a YouTuber, though, which you may not realize. When I go after scammers, they target my YouTube channel and they send a whole lot of fake likes. So at one point there, we were around about 12,000 subscribers, maybe even 10,000, not sure. And then all of a sudden we had this massive influx of subscribers. My videos used to get anything from 2, maybe up to 5,000 views. Since then, my videos don't get the reach they used to get because the algorithm is all screwed up because people sent fake subscribers to my YouTube channel. I spent ages writing to Google, explaining it to them, telling them what was happening. They told me that their systems were all working perfectly, and my subscriber counts were real and genuine people. Recently, which is quite funny, is I actually have lost 500 subscribers in the last month. So I actually managed to get over 70,000, and I'm hoping that I'm going to lose more. And that's because I want my videos to pop up in people's feeds when they subscribe to my YouTube content. I spend hours and hours doing my content. I love my YouTube channel. I did lose my YouTube channel there for about 3 or 4 days. YouTube apologized. It was a mistake. They processed a video of mine. They thought it had nudity in it. It was actually because it was my second strike where a scammer decided when I was on a live video to pull his trousers down, and we got a nice photo of his bottom. I didn't think it was a big deal, but YouTube did. And then the second one was where I blurred out a whole lot of videos, but their system picked it up as real nudity, and it was just blurred out photos. So I'm being honest here. That's why I lost my YouTube channel for 3 or 4 days at one point. But I spent a lot of time on it. So if I went to my video, termination, I think it's termination. Let's see if I can figure it out. YouTube termination. So here you can read all about my did that just do what I think it did? It did, naughty thing. Let's go back. Termination. So in here, I actually published all about that. So if you search my YouTube channel for the word termination, you can actually read everything. Is it not working? Oh, it is. Here we go. So, so here it explains what happened and the lengths I went to get my YouTube channel back. And, so that's what happened. So I do things different. Now, when you're on my YouTube channel, you go to the live section and you'll see that I am currently live at the moment with this video here with Christopher sitting on the couch. And this was part 1. Tomorrow we'll be doing part 2, and right through the week we'll be doing part 3 or 4. I record them live, and then after I've done my video, I edit it a little bit. I don't like editing, don't do much editing, and I re-upload the same video into a different section. It's good because live videos are easier for me to keep on the internet than uploaded videos. So I basically, if somebody complains about a video, sometimes they do get removed, and I try to keep myself fully in line with what YouTube say I can and I can't do. But when you're live streaming, you get, some decent traffic. So I really do appreciate everyone that supports what I do. And if you understand how hard it is to actually keep your content out there, it's pretty interesting. When I'm publishing a blog, so last night I published a blog. I did a blog. Oh my goodness, I must have hit publish on that instead of save. Anyway, I've just got a new blog that's gone live and I didn't realize it's live. So last night, I published a blog about Signals. Signals is this fella here is promoting a website that looks like he claims that you can do trading on the internet. So I've done a full investigation of his website and also the story behind him. And the real dumb thing, you can even sign up, and I'm just giving you an example here. So I created an account and I used the password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and sign in. And now I'm, he's taking that account out. But anyway, yesterday I set up an account using an email address and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as a password. And I can log into this website now. He's removed the account. Long story short, I've done a video about my blog. I've done a live. I was up at 3 o'clock last night recording this video where I got to ask him questions. I've even produced a song. I've produced a pretty full-on blog. And that's sort of what I do to get my footprint out there. If it's a real big story, I will also publish a podcast. So you can go to my podcast and you can read and listen to different podcasts that I've done previously. What that means is my podcast is put on 18 different platforms. And what I'm trying to say is that I do all this work so that I get a big footprint on the internet. And when people search for, is global glamping domes a scam, my articles come up in the search results. If Metrotronics, I can't even say the word right, is it a scam? Jan Gregory, all this stuff will come up in the search results. And all we're trying to do is get the message out there that people need to, stop. Look, it doesn't even come up in the search engine yet. But anyway, I just don't want people to get scammed. We spend hours and hours and hours trying to build a big footprint on the internet so that people can, basically not get scammed. So if you can support us by subscribing to the YouTube channel, it does help. I know it's a little thing. A lot of people watch these videos, don't subscribe. Your name never comes up when you subscribe to a YouTube channel. Also, we always like to give back to people, and we have Sadie who comes and cleans people's screens for people who subscribed, and that's your way of giving back to me if you want to give back. A lot of people find my blogs from the silliest Ponzi schemes ever. I've got one, and I'm going to give you an example. There's the other big, massive thing that I didn't show you is something else called my database, right? Now, Millinote is my my database. In here, we have Ponzi schemes and scams. So currently, I've got 240 Ponzi schemes and scams that we've been investigating over the past while. And then we come back to here and we've got persons of interest. And in here, we've got over 1,000 people that we've seen promoting these Ponzi schemes and scams and the like, right? And we'll build up. So the scammer that I was going after yesterday was this guy. We've got his LinkedIn profile, his Facebook profile. The Ponzi scheme and scam, we've seen him promoting the called Signals. And here's Signals, PDFs, everything you can think of, blah, 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 blah. Actually, PDFs. So what I've got to do there is actually find a PDF that he's just done. PDF pitch deck. Where's the other one I wanted? It's gone. Incredible. Anyway, I thought I did have it handy, but I don't. Right. What am I trying to say? So what we're trying to say, guys, is what our strength is, we were busting a big scam a wee while ago called BG Wealth Sharing, right? People didn't realize that it actually started as CR Group LLC. That was a New Zealand test case. Then it morphed into Signal Raiders, and then it morphed into BG Wealth Sharing. And at the same time, we think it may have started as PO Wealth Sharing, Nexo, Swift Capital. All these are the same companies from human trafficking compounds bringing out these scams. Just in the last 48 hours, I've got 100 people that thought this was a true and real opportunity, and they've lost money to it. And I've set up a group in my WhatsApp where people who have lost money tell us how the whole lot works, and they give us intel, they give us screenshots, they tell us who the fake professor was, they tell us whether it was ran on Bond Chat, Telegram, WhatsApp. And I literally were talking to people to the early hours of last night, just trying to understand how this Ponzi scheme and that worked. These people here literally searched for the name of the scam in Google because they want to know whether it was a scam. And somewhere along there, it's not even turning up here at the moment. Why is that? I'm not even in the search results, hardly. But normally you'll find our listings come up here, PO Wealth Sharing Exposed. And anyway, so we help people. you know, we just help people. And that's what we do. So I'm not sort of saying we're the best thing since Bee's Knees, because there's other people out there like Queenie Karma. We've got Behind MLM, which I sent an email to him just yesterday about another scam. So he just did a review on Mechatronics, and we did one. I actually bet him this time for about 2 or 3 hours, funny enough. I just finished mine, and then I go to his website, and he's published his review on these companies and the fake CEO. Well, not the fake CEOs. He's a real CEO, this one. But it's just interesting. It's a big world out there. So I just want to say, guys, thank you very much. Richard, you're here late. Well, the feds don't give a shit. Actually, I tell you what, since Goliath Ventures, they don't want anything to do with me currently until their next investigation. And I tell you now that the feds are the best people. They love you, absolutely love you when they're starting an investigation. They want the investigation. They just want you to hand over all your research and all your data and everything that we have. As soon as Christopher was indicted, they rang me up and said, don't communicate with us anymore, because everything that you communicate with us, even though we gave them a database of $35 million that was from Mike Golinsky, never get his name right, we gave him the database of $35 million worth of investors' funds. They rang up and told me they didn't want me to send them any more data because it gets used in discovery against them. And since then, I've never heard from them. We were sending them intel all the time. So the feds don't work with us as much as we'd like. We feed them information, we do reports, we have meetings with them, we whistleblow. We should get a lot of the credit for what we do. We're not here just to get the credit, but it would be nice to, and this is why we're so pissed off with Channel 9 News. When I went to Orlando, we contacted 10 news outlets. Fox 35 interviewed me for an hour and then some in their offices. I caught a taxi there. It cost me like $60 to get a taxi there to be interviewed by them. I told them my story and everything. The guy gave me some advice about my t-shirt should be a polo shirt instead. Never used any of it. And when Christopher came out of the courtroom, and it was Greg Fox was the one that talked to him. It's one of those iconic, when Christopher first came out with his ankle bracelet on, the guy that asked was Greg Fox. I was sitting in his office. He was from WNBC. And, hey, picture, we're going to come up here. Come on, up. WNBC, I think it was. I could be wrong. And I went in there. I gave him 3 civil court cases on his desk and said, here's Nick Petrillo. Has got a lawsuit going for $40 million against Goliath Ventures because of unpaid royalties and blah, blah, blah. And he said, it's civil matters. It's hearsay. We need federal cases. 2 days later, a federal case was filed in the federal court. Even spoke to the guy that filed the paperwork to the federal court. And then they started covering the story. Never mentioned me at all. The other one that was interesting, so we had Channel 9 News. I rang up, spoke to a lady for 45 minutes. She was fascinated by the story, didn't want to interview me face-to-face, just wanted to do it over the phone. Don't know why I went to America. WF, not WF, it's NBC. I can't remember. I went to 3 different agencies. They all talked to me, but they didn't want to say anything about me. The biggest and the most amazing thing that ever happened to me while I was in America, I thought, I'm going to reach out to CoffeeZilla. Already knew him from previous correspondence, but we weren't that close. And he paid for my flights to go visit him in Texas. Took me to his home, went to his $10 million studio, and met the guy and his family, spent the day with him, had lunch with him. He paid for my accommodation, paid for my everything so I could be there. And he told the most amazing story ever about what actually happened with Goliath Ventures. And obviously I got the credit for a lot of the work. I do believe that, I'm not sour grapes. I believe the truth will prevail. And I think that a lot of these news agencies, which are trying to maybe think they're covering the news, are just news readers. We broke the story. We'll get the credit for it one day. Not that that's our goal, but it will be nice when all the truth comes to the surface, and that's what will happen. Anyway, I've waffled long enough, probably a bit tired. Thank you so much for being here and the support. And we'll see you tomorrow where we go through day 2 of Christopher spilling his beans and trying to control the narrative on what really happened with Goliath Ventures and why he thought it was a good idea to tell $400 million worth of investors to invest in Goliath Ventures when he didn't have any product. And he decided he would even try white labeling a Ponzi scheme to generate the returns he was promising his friends and family. It's disgusting. So let's expose this guy. Let's expose the co-conspirators, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Oh yeah. Hey Christopher. Thought the spotlight would last forever. Now the whole world's watching. Let's go. Walked in flashing all that gold. Thought the story would never get old. Private jets and designer shoes. Now it's breaking evening news. Selling dreams from stage to stage. Writing promises on every page. Everybody bought the fantasy. Now the truth's on national TV. Ooh, hear those sirens calling. Every diamond know it's falling. Thought the music would never stop. Now the beat goes knock, knock, knock. Every time that courtroom door swings wide, I hear blue lights flashing in my mind. Thought you wrote yourself a masterpiece. Now you're reading guilty pleas. Yeah, the gavel goes bang. Hear the courtroom sing. Yeah, the handcuffs go clink. Makes the whole room think. Ooh, that's the sound they bring. Crypto wallets leave a trail. Blockchains always tell the tale. Every transfer, every coin. Now investigators join. Funny how the heroes hide when the paperwork arrives. Funny how the loudest crowd suddenly ain't talking loud. Ooh, hear those whispers growing. Everybody's nervous knowing what confession starts a chain. Now they're wondering whose name. Every time that courtroom door swings wide, I hear blue lights flashing in my mind. Built an empire on borrowed time. Now you're running out of time. Yeah, the gavel goes bang. Hear the courtroom sing. Yeah, the headlines roll. Taking quite a toll. Ooh, who's the next to fold? No more penthouse celebrations, only legal conversations. No more selfies, no champagne, just another prison train. If the phone stopped ringing now, who'll explain the why and how? Every promise has a cost. Every shortcut ends up lost. Hey Christopher, remember all those standing ovations? Now it's all rise.